Hello, boys and girls. Only bad bitches allowed in my ass. Only bad. The fuck? Oh, guess who was watching internet pornography last night? Cause he's addicted to it. Guess who knows he's addicted to it but doesn't care? Guess who makes factual statements and goes, I'm just kidding. It's crazy how fucking stupid of a face I can make. You know what's funny? I get real mad when people don't take me seriously sometimes. And then I was watching a video of mine cuz what the fuck was it? Oh yeah. Nah, it's not like I don't expect people to go like, "Oh my god, is that Mensa candidate Andy Malafrina?" I think it's sometimes you know what it is? I get pushback a lot of times on things. Like I'll be saying shit and I'll just be like, yeah, I'll be saying shit and I'll be like, I know what I'm talking about and shit like that. And then like people, like my wife does it all the time. My friends do it all the time. No one, people very rarely take my word for it. I think is what I'm internalizing right now, and I know it's nothing personal. You just because I was watching a video of mine last night. It was pretty cool because like I posted on the Big Red in the Morning channel in the Big Red in the Morning channel on the YouTube channel, which if you're watching this on the Panties channel, thank you so much. Please consider giving your boy a subscribe over there because I post music reviews and all that other shit over there. So if you want a little bit extra, I got a little bit extra for you. But no, so I post this video. Let me pull it up because it was actually kind of cool because yeah, so I do, and I understand it's cringy to make reaction videos, but I'm good at like watching a video and responding to it. It's just what I'm good at. What's up, boys and girls? I should show love to the people in the fucking chat, by the way. I'm being an absolute sack of shit. Derek, what's up, brother? I gotta give Derek props. Probably nope. Probably my one of my biggest supporters for the longest time. Derek's been in the trenches since day one. Derek's the kind of supporter I appreciate because he sees the vision. He sees the vision. He sees what we're going for, and he's a ride or die. So I appreciate you, Derek. Jimmy Olive, that's a great name. Jimmy Olive's an amazing name. Saint Ivan, you're the man too, brother. You hop in. I mean, Derek's day one, but I also gotta say, day twos, threes, fours, fives. I don't care what day, dude. I don't care what day. Everyone just gets their badge though. But yeah, Saint Ivan or however you say yours, he's also a hardcore. He's also a hardcore bro, so I appreciate that. Illuminati, Derek, yes. Dumbeezy's also a real one, dude. Too. Dunbar, Dunbar, the amount of streams he's in on, I actually get scared. I get worried. I call his parents when Dunbar's not in a stream. I get worried just because not that he has to be in every stream, but just because he's in every stream, um, I get scared when he's not. You know what I mean? It's like my wife came home a little bit later from the gym and I got scared. I go, who's she fucking blowing? Who's she making love to? That's not me. And that's not my same racial makeup. And then I was like, oh yeah, she's my wife does like cat sitting sometimes. And I was like, oh yeah, she's probably going to sit on some cats. Which God, I wish I was a cat. Sit on me, suffocate me, baby. Um, Hola Large Rojo. Oh, dude, that's yeah. Rojo's red, right? Rojo. That's red, right? Wouldn't it be English to Spanish? What's Big Red in the Morning? Big Red in the Morning. Grande Rojo por la mana. Nice. Big Red would just be Grande Rojo. Yeah, dude. Just call me Grande Rojo. Grande Rojo. Call me Grande Rojo. Boom, boom, boom. Ooh, Derek. Shout out, Derek. I suspended from Twitch until Sunday. Yeah, because of all the stuff you say, Slav. I gotta be honest. Like, you earn it. You know what it is too? Because I say it 1,000 times. Because I've met Slav. Slav's a cool dude, and if you're drinking, he's definitely gonna say some shit that might stimulate your brain, for good or worse. You know what you know me. I'm never upset over content. It's just the vibe and the delivery of content, and sometimes you kumia out. That's all. But like, you got like, I'll talk about anything. You guys know that about me. I'll talk about anything. It's just the. It's I always say treat the stream like it's a bar that like we're like it's a bar that we're sort of like holding court in because there's a bunch of us. But also at the same time, you got to catch the vibe or else we're going to get kicked out of the bar. If we're hammered if we're hammered in real life, say whatever you want and I'll agree with all of it. Shout out to Diesel. Yes. Slav stay getting banned on things. Hell yeah. Luis Ju Gomez reported me on Twitch just like he did on Instagram. I mean, yeah, Slav. Slav, you got to look at your life. When Luis J. Gomez is banning you, when Luis J. when Luis J. stopped saying the N-word way too late in life, Gomez is banning you, that's when you need to look inward and stop saying the N-word. You got to look inward and stop saying the N-word. I miss some of the rare occasions I'm doing something, but I do be chilling. Yeah, dude, Dunbar be straight chilling. Oh yeah, Pike Von Doom's always in the mix. What up, brother? Got a job interview today for a supervisor spot. You are mucho gordo. Doesn't gordo mean fat though? Doesn't gordo mean fat? I mean, I am, but can we just pretend like I'm not? Can we pretend? Can we be like when Lemaire's being nice to me and calling me Jack? Jacked? Yeah, gordo means fat, dude. Come on, dude. I'm not mucho gordo. I'm mucho grande. Job interview today. LOL. Twitch said I was using unwelcoming language. Twitch says I was using unwelcoming language. I mean, that sounds like you, dude. More like Luis Gay Gomez. I mean, got his ass, dude. Fucking got him. I appeal the suspension by calling it anti-Semitic. It's just Slav being like, you stupid, and you just start hitting the K word. You stupid K's banning me because you dumb. Okay, Jews, go. Whoa, chill. Slav spends his leisure time measuring skull. I wouldn't be shocked. So it's kind of like a dork court. Kicked out of 100. Yeah, Slav. Well, you know what the irony is, Slav? You've definitely gotten kicked out of 109 streams. That's the irony. Slav be acting like the caricatures he is mad at. The caricatures he makes up that he's mad at. Slav, you've definitely been kicked out of 109 streams. Slav was pestering him about some podcast on his stream the other day. It was kind of sad. Well, that's the other thing you do sometimes, Slav, and you're literally doing it right now. You talk to comedians this way, and you know we love attention, so you bait us into making the whole thing about you. How else would he describe Lewis? Dumb Beezy. Oh, but anyway, I was why was I bringing this up earlier? Yeah, because over here That's right. I was being insecure over the fact that I do reaction videos, but I just, you know what it is? You know what it is? I see. Here's my thing. I think a lot of people confuse what I do. I think a lot of people get mixed up with what I do because they'll see, like, I remember one time I was, this is a while ago. This was around the time RFK Jr. was in the news because he was like, like the whole, because I think he's been saying this forever, but the whole RFK Jr. talking about vaccines causing autism, he had like been saying it again, so it was like the topic at the time. And I remember me and Nate were doing Suave, the podcast Sean used to do with Big Chrissy. We were at Sean's place doing that, and I was giving the whole rundown. We were talking about like Logan Paul or something, and I was giving like the whole rundown of his. I think it was like the like why he got in trouble in Japan. Um, Andy shorts are funny, especially the boomer criticizing libtards in his car video, but keeps dropping the phone. Thank you, Slav. I appreciate that. Yeah, I've been fucking around with making those shorts and sketches or whatever you want to call them, and they're actually really fun. I want to do more physical one. I posted the one where I like I was bitching about AI and then I fell in the chair. I should have waited because I posted that shit on Sunday. Because I hate, you know what it is? I hate having a thing loaded, ready to go. I literally just like when I make it, I post it. When I make it, I post it. And so I just thought of that idea on Sunday afternoon, so I posted it then. But Sunday's a terrible day to post shit, but I don't know. I feel like a Mo being like, I'm gonna wait till the prime time to post. It's like, I don't know. And I know that's like not I don't fault people for doing that shit. I don't want to be like, if you do that shit, you're a fucking piece of shit. I don't fault anyone for doing that. For me, sometimes it makes me, it's probably why I'm not as successful. You know what I mean? Because I overthink that stuff. And I think, what I mean, I think not being professional gives you more integrity as a comedian. You know what I mean? But anyway, Logan Paul definitely vaccinated with autism. Well, uh Suavemente. Yeah, shout out T Suave. That was a fun one to do. Sean Gardini's so fun to podcast with because he'll have like real opinions, but if he goes too long with a real opinion on a podcast, because there's dudes like that, like there's a million dudes, there's a million comedians who like they just don't feel like being a guy with real opinion. I like being that dickhead. I like being a dickhead who's like, oh, I'll just talk about my real opinions. But Gardini's fun because he'll like go into a real opinion and then be like, I'm making a real point right now. And you can kind of like see him hate it. And then he immediately jumps into like a hilarious joke and shit. So that's why podcasting with the guard dog's so fun. But yeah, so we were talking about Logan Paul, and I was given the breakdown, and then when I was like done, because it wasn't the first time I had like explained some shit about Logan Paul, and Nate had noticed that. Here's Nate's skill. Nate's really good at noticing. He's very bad at processing anything. He's a very, very dumb man. No, I love Nate. I've been fucking with Nate more lately because I bring it up on the pod this week. Which, by the way, no Lemaire this week. It's a different vibe, but it's still fun. I felt self-conscious because it's not the bam 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 silly pod you get with Lemaire, but it's still like a good silly pod. It's just me, Nate, and Sean, so it's a little more subdued. But I was just feeling self-conscious because it wasn't the punch you in the face silly like it normally is. But I think it's still good. But no, I was messing with Nate because I was like, I go to I'm doing a CrossFit competition this weekend because my wife asked me to do it because it's lifting heavy and the weights aren't that crazy, so I would be a good participant. There's like no cardio in it; it's just lifting. So I'm actually really excited to do that. So we were at her gym on Sunday. Was it Sunday? Yeah, we were at her gym on Sunday throwing weights around and shit. So I could like remember all the motions for the lifting and shit. And the dude it's so funny. It's so funny how like more known all my friends are getting. Cause so we're at the gym and they're like, "Oh, you do comedy? We should go see you do a show at some point." And I was like, "Well, we actually have a show Wednesday," which by the way, if you guys are in Texas, Wednesday, Creek in the Cave, me and my buddy Pat George, we're doing the show called Song Remains the Same. It's sort of improvised stand-up a la Bottom of the Barrel or stand-up on the spot like Jeremiah Watkin does, but it's actually like it's kind of a combo of those two, but music centric. So it's like some, improv on the spot. You get a jumping off point, improv on the spot. It's a good time. You should guys come hang. But I thought I had a burp. I didn't. You guys should come hang at the Creek on Wednesday, 8 p.m. and then stay all night and get drunk and, buy me and Pat beers. That would be really cool of you if you bought me and Pat beers. But yeah, I was like, yeah, we got a show because he was, and they were like, he was bringing up seeing Sean somewhere or something like that, or being a fan of Sean's, and I was like, I had a cool moment where I was like, well, actually, we have Sean on the show. And then I brought up Nate, and he's like, oh, I love Nate, and I go, that's so fucking weird. Random dude at this gym is a fan of my friends. And then he was like, it was funny because he was talking about Nate. And then he was like complimenting Nate too much, and it was bugging me. So I just started being like, Nate's actually a psycho if you meet him, blah, blah, blah. And I was telling Nate this, but I was like leaning into it way more. Just being like, I was leaning into it like way more, just being like, yeah, I was just and Nate's like, why are you shit talking me to fans? And I was like, I wasn't shit talking you that much. I was actually shit talking you. But yeah, I've been messing with Nate a lot lately, and I feel bad about it. But yeah, so that's that. What was I talking about with Logan Paul? I forgot why I got on the topic of Nate and Sean. Oh yeah, podcasting with them. It's the podcast will thank you, Slav. Thank you, Slav. Show up to the next pod dressed as a Hebrew Israelite. I will do that. He got the Johnson DeBall edition. God, post up on Sunday. Hell yeah, dude. Suavemente. Oh yeah, I was talking about podcasting with them. But yeah, podcast. Oh yeah, did you guys hear that? Tooted. Podcast is good. It's just different this week. And you know what it is? It's just this is like my one thing I'm really good at is being funny on podcasts. Well, it's what it is? Big Red in the Mornings actually pretty easy for me. It's kind of why I have Panties in the Mouth is like the most fun I have because it's just us having a good time. Hey, M. Fisher with the resub Prime. 3 months. Thank you so much. Guys, gals, please, for your boy, if you got an Amazon Prime, please consider hitting that subscribe. Or if you're just a good-hearted human being, please consider hitting that subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. I'm just trying to get the numbers up on my stuff so I can make a couple bucks, and we could be Big Red in the Morning every morning until the fucking wheels fall off and shit. So if you're feeling generous, please consider subscribing. And also on top of that, and I'm on the Panties channel, so if you're not on the Panties Patreon, don't do this. But if you're on the Panties Patreon and you want to help out Big Red in the Morning, but you don't want to pay, because people keep telling me that the fucking Twitch thing's like $8 or something. That's nuts. And also Twitch takes half of it. So if you're already on the Panties Patreon, there's a Big Red in the Morning Patreon, and I give you bonus content. I've been a little bit behind just because there's not a lot of people on there, but I do want to build up the repertoire. So I do a thing over there called the Big Red Book Club. I might do some other stuff over time. If you guys got ideas, let me know. But patreon.com, Big Red in the Morning. I do a thing called the Big Red Book Club. I've been reading. I'm reading through one of my conspiracy books. It's about the first couple chapters are about child sex trafficking and CP and stuff like that. So that's really sad. That's actually why I'm not up to date on posting that stuff, because I read the intro and 2 chapters and I go, this is so fucking sad. I can't read any more of this. So I had to, but oh, and also I got a thing of me reading X-Men. Oh, and I forgot, I have a thing. I'm gonna post this sometime this week. I have a thing of me reading the first arc in the One Piece manga. So yeah. So yeah, that's just fun for me to do, because it's also just, you're not just like watching me read it. If I do comics and I do manga, I'm like doing the voices. I'm going like full send. You know what I'm saying? I'm going full send, really trying to do it. And then when I read the books, it's like, I think I'm gonna stick to conspiracy books and shit. Or I don't even. I gotta be honest. I don't know what to say anymore, because it's like, I don't think. Well, I gotta be. I don't love the negative connotation of conspiracies, because it's like, oh, this is just like a fun pretend thing. This is just like a fun thing that we all know isn't real, but it's just fun to pretend about this stuff. And it's like, dude, I got to be honest. And I'm a guy who I got into conspiracies ironically, because I thought they were stupid, and I wanted to just laugh and enjoy how crazy people are. And then the more and more I read, the more and more I was like, yeah, dude, some of this shit is very reasonable. So it's like I'm trying to think. Like, dude, if you would have talked to someone 20 years ago, if you would have talked to Alex Jones 20 years ago and was like, there's an island where the elite go, that's run by a pedophile who works for Mossad, and, yada, 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 Jeffrey Epstein. Like, if you would have heard that 20 years ago, you'd have been like, you're the dumbest fuck in the world. You're literally a crazy person. We have to lock you up. Now, all of that isn't technically confirmed, but we're basically at a point where, even if not all of that's true, most of people believe that broadly. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, the term conspiracy theory for me is just overplayed, because I just go like, how many of them need to be, oh, you're just conspiracy. Oh, you just what? Oh, you think MK Ultra? Oh yeah, MK Ultra is real. You think the government's just gonna try to do mind control? Oh yeah, they're gonna try. Oh what? You think the government's just gonna try to make Manchurian can? Oh wait, yeah, they did that. Oh, you think the FBI or the CIA is just gonna kill important political figures? Oh wait, no, they actually did do that. Oh, what, you think our CIA is gonna just go to other countries and try to topple their oh wait, yeah, they do that. It's just like, so if you look at the broad, like, I'm just saying, if you look at the scoreboard of like, here, wait, let me put my whole ass head up here. No, my head. If you look at the scoreboard of like, here's the conspiracy, like, here's the list of conspiracies, and then here's the list of the conspiracies that weren't true. And it's like, obviously, well, I mean, yeah, if you have if I'll put it this way, the list of conspiracies that have been proven to be true or shown to be very reasonable line of thinking, that's a huge list. Like, it's a huge list. So it's just getting to the point where I'm just like, does conspiracy theorist, like, does that term even make sense? And that's why I don't know what to say. Because also too, I've heard a lot of people like, so going back to the Patreon thing I was talking about, like Big Red in the morning, on the Patreon, I do the Big Red Book Club, and I'm reading through my book, and it's like, I've heard the term parapolitics. I don't know. I don't know. I need a term that just doesn't go like, you're one of those guys. And it's like, don't get me wrong, like, maybe that's me being self-conscious, but there are certain things where it's like, oh, you're going to do that. Even if you're right, like, you're going to be annoying and obnoxious about things. You know what I'm saying? But I guess parapolitics, but I don't know. It all just comes off as like, it's we're conversing in a false framework if we keep saying conspiracy in the term that most people understand it to be. Because it's like, it's like, some of this stuff is just history. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of these books, like, I'll say, like, Programmed to Kill and Weird Scenes from Inside the Canyon. That's David McGowan, and he has a bunch of real shit in there, but a bunch of other shit in there is him going like, A plus B probably means C, or he's heavily implying C. You know what I'm saying? So like there's shit like that, but like what people don't realize is like a bunch of those books aren't people like that's the thing about conspiracy books. Conspiracy books is a lot of people can get shit on because they can get fucked up legally if they just make shit up, especially if the book gets popular. That's what you can see it on the edge there. That's what that dude that why that book took him like 20 years to do, Chaos, because he had a bunch of people around him with those cases who were like threatening to fucking kill him and shit like that, and where they were going, well, not overtly, probably like implying they were going to kill him. You know, the same way like the one lady who was going to break the Epstein story, she just randomly started getting like dead cats. I don't know if it was multiple or just one, but yeah, there was like the lady got a dead cat on her porch the one day and all this other weird random shit. But yeah, no, it's just like, you know, in a lot of those books, they're just like people think those books are just filled with like wild speculation or like unsubstantiated claims or, you know, unsubstantiated documents or shit like that. And it's just like, dude, I say this all the time when talking about like some of the stuff I think, because like like there's part of me that just wants to be like a fucking, oh, I'm just a chill comic that doesn't worry about the shit and just kind of like gets fucked up and hangs out and just make fucking dick jokes. And it's like I want to do all that, but once you start like getting into this shit and you start realizing it, you're just like, you know, there is part of me that's like, man, I wish I didn't think this. But then there's the other part of me that's like, yeah, I can't not be obsessed with the truth and shit like that. And I'm not even on some like fucking let's start the revolution shit. Just like I literally think it's like my fucking autism. Like whatever brand of it I have. And I'm not just saying that like a fucking white chick on TikTok. Like legitimately, like I have like I wanted to look into it because I feel this obsessiveness over me. And I think some of it is just like because I'm obsessed with podcasting and talking into microphones and shit like that. So I'm very obsessive over being accurate. I'm often not accurate, but I'm obsessive over it. So I spend a lot of my free time just like listening to podcasts, watching YouTube videos on the subjects, watching documentaries, reading books, listening to audiobooks and shit like that. So because it's just like the more you look into anything, the more it's like when like I remember I was talking to Nate about this forever ago because like Nate's on the more traditional side of the climate change shit. And I remember I was telling him, I was like, I'm no fucking expert on climate change, but a lot of the rhetoric, it's like a lot of the, like, I know this, the climate change rhetoric is some fucking New World Order bullshit or whatever. Or what was the fucking group? They haven't talked about him in a while because Klaus Schwab scared the shit out of everyone. So they kind of like, oh yeah, World Economic Forum. I used to see that dude fucking everywhere. That's, by the way, what makes me think COVID was a much more, well, I'm not on some pandemic shit, but there was definitely like a lot more when it came to COVID and stuff like that. There was definitely a lot more what's the word I'm looking for that doesn't get the panties channel nuked? I don't think it would. This isn't, but Drifter, ever heard of the Finders? Yeah. I wish I fucking didn't, Drifter. I wish I didn't. I wish I never heard of the Finders. No, but what was sorry, I got sidetracked. This is why part of me always just wants to go on Rumble because I'd love to just let it fucking rip. But also you get lazy when you let it rip. So maybe it's better I'm here on YouTube. But the fuck was I just talking about? Oh, the COVID stuff. Yeah, where it's like with the World Economic Forum and how they're like how they would like during COVID they were like you would just see them all the time. I don't know the last time like the World Economic Forum's ever been in the news. I'm assuming they still do their shit. You know what I mean? They're not just like seasonal. You know what I mean? They're not just like the fucking McRib. I, I think they like come around often, but you just don't hear about them anymore. And it's like, yeah, it's because Klaus Schwab was scaring the fuck out of people. You know what I mean? It's like every movie, every movie the bad guy has to be like German or Russian, and it's like, well, yeah, now that's gonna make us afraid of fucking creepy German dudes. So you know what I mean? But no, but the way that just kind of like went away, it really makes you feel like there was much more you know, like I say this all the time with the conspiracy stuff. I don't think it's like a big puppet master. I think it's a lot of nudging, but I think it makes you wonder if there was much more attempts at puppet mastering during COVID and shit like that. Cause it's like that shit was in the it was, cause I think they just try shit a lot. You know what I mean? I think they go like, hey, we want to do this stuff with the World Economic Forum, and we want Klaus Schwab to be the big guy that says you'll own nothing and you'll love it. Like, you'll own nothing and you love it. And then they kind of just sit there and go like, do you guys like this? And we're all like, that guy's creepy. All that stuff you're doing is weird and gay. And they're just like, oh yeah. We don't want to, we're just kidding. We don't want to. They did it with the fucking vaccine passport. They were like, everyone will need a vaccine passport. We were all like, well, that's crazy and dystopian. And then they go like, just kidding. Who even brought that up? That's, by the way, why like people 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 don't realize how valuable being informed is, because like they can't just do the shit if everyone's constantly going like, yo, why are you doing that? They don't do the shit then. You know what I'm saying? I know that sounds oversimplified, but like the best example I remember reading in this one book Matt Taibbi wrote, I forget what it was, but he lays out like after 9/11, people think like 9/11 happened. And I know I bring up this point a lot, but it's a good point. People think after 9/11 happened, it was like, all right, 9/11, 2001, that shit happened. So then on 9/12/2001, we were over in Iraq fucking people up. And it's like, no, they had to propagandize the people for like ever. You know what I'm saying? For like a year or two. And then they were able to like go into Iraq and just fuck shit up. Cause that was like the thing. Like, they were like fucking around in Iraq for a while, but like Osama bin Laden had like, what was it? It was like after like 9 months, he like left Iraq. He left Afghanistan. Sorry. I know the broad strokes of all the Middle East shit, but the second you want me to get into like the nitty gritty of it, that's when I start confusing it. Cause there's just so many fucking, sorry, I was about to make a really racist joke. There's so many brown people words. I'm sorry I said that. I'm sorry. I was just going for the joke. But yeah, so, and then he leaves. And then on top of that, like all the people in the 9/11 attacks were like Saudi Arabia or were like Saudis. It's like all this weird shit. But like, so like being in Afghanistan the way we were, it just didn't completely make sense the whole time. So like, you know what I mean? So like, but like, so like you then have to be, as a population, like heavily propagandized to just be like, you know, in 02, 03, it's just people looking like me raging, like, fucking get the brown people, fucking blow them up. You know what I'm saying? Like, so there's many examples through time where they need the public support. So that's why it's like, you need to stop. Like, they need the public support. It's not even the public support. They just need the public. They need it normalized to the public. So they just kind of like let it happen without really yapping too much. Chill. Yo, Slav, seriously, stop. Yo, Slav, I love you. I don't know how more clear I need to make it. Stop doing the things you do. Stop. You know what I mean. You're not dumb. Stop doing those things that get channels banned, you dumbass. God damn it, dude. But anyway, but no, yeah, I was off on a fucking tear. But yeah, it was sorry. When I'm in the pocket, I'm in the pocket. When I'm out of that pocket, it really takes me a minute to yes, it was the Qataris. Yes, it was them. It takes me a minute to, it's like I'm in a go-kart and I flipped it and it takes me a minute to flip it over and get back in it. But yeah, no, that's why it's like don't take being informed for granted. You know what I mean? Like 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 and this, by the way, is why people need to also stop just salivating over because regulation. Because people are like, well, they're doing that. Why are they doing that? People could get hurt. And it's like, well, people get hurt and lose their money. What up, King Sawwell? How you doing, brother? People be like countless numbers of people get hurt and go broke under heavily regulated America. So like that's the first point. But then on top of that, like people take being informed for granted. Because they've been programmed that it's like the only way to solve problems is to write a law about it. When in actuality, every time you write a law, there's fucking unintended consequences and all this other fucking bullshit that happens from that. You know what I mean? And that's more so like obviously, I mean, even what's funny though, even I was gonna say it's like for more complicated, but even simple laws though, there's a law of like don't kill people. Well, the government in prison, the government in prisons wrongfully convicted people constantly. So even that one, it's why the fucking just always focusing on laws. This is a real way for you guys to take me seriously. I'm just like, but that's the thing though. People see dudes like me or like fucking Metzger fucking spazzing, and you're just like, yeah, you fucking know this shit. You fucking learn about this shit. And you realize your subdued nature, that's fucking weird, dude. But no, yeah, what was I trying to say? Oh yeah. People take being informed for granted. So let's think of a magical dystopian world where we don't have everything fucking regulated. And there's no FDA to let us know how to make food properly. Well, so there's no FDA. What are you going to do? Well, there's a new food spot. Well, there's no government board to tell me if that food's good or not. So I'll have to double check. And then, so the new food spot comes in and the place is called, Big Doo Doo Pizza. And you go, that's a weird name. I don't know if Big Doo Doo Pizza is a good place to eat at. So you look it up on fucking is this food place good.com, and they say Big Doo Doo Pizza gets a 1 out of 5 because their pizza's covered in big doo doo. And you go, I'm informed. And here's the thing, they could be just cranking out Big Doo Doo Pizza all fucking day, but it's covered in doo doo. So you're never going to eat it. So like you're informed on the matter in the right manner. You're informed on the matter in the right manner. So you're informed on that. And so you'll never get fucked up by that pizza. So like, and that's a small example. Extrapolate that into a bigger realm of just like, and also mix that. You say my audio's chopping out? Where are you at on YouTube? Audio's fine. Okay. Maybe I have too many. Let me close down some tabs. I think it's the government trying to take me out. The government's trying to, but that's the thing. Like, it's one thing where I get it, where you have the government and they just kind of go like, oh, it's democracy, it's power to the people, all this other shit. It's better now. Okay. Yeah. I probably didn't set up my computer properly before doing this. My computer's a little bit older, which is another reason if you guys want to support your boy, twitch.tv, subscribe, Big Red in the Morning on Patreon. Also look up Andy Malafrino on TikTok. I changed my name to something retarded, but I'm gonna change it back. Because I love it. because I had it. It's so funny on TikTok. I like had a funny because like my TikTok was just Andy Malfreno for the longest time. And then you know what it is? I get these like grand ideas and then I act on them publicly before I think about them enough. And I go, because I was like, I'm going to do Big Red in the Morning on YouTube and I'm going to make it like a talk show and this and that. And then I changed and I just had the idea. I was like, I'm like a DJ now. So I changed my name on TikTok to DJ Andy Dugard. And I was like, that's the funniest thing anyone could ever. And the second I changed it, I go, why did I do that? What? And then I go, all right, I'm going to change it back. TikTok's like, you can't change it for a month. So I've just been in hell obsessing over this. They did mute you right after you got on, Slav. We know who it was. Yeah, I have that. Yeah, you know what it is? Like, my problem is like I wish I had better self-control because I worry sometimes, and I think over time I'm just going to do enough good shit that people are like, oh, Andy's good at this. But I would always get worried because I was always like hyper locked in on my own shit. But I would just worry that like, I would put so much okay shit out that it would balance out all the really good shit I put out. It's like there's comics out there who are like just as funny as me or even like a little less funny than me, but they have way better self-control when it comes to posting and not having 20 podcasts, that the world only sees the really good stuff that they do. You know what I'm saying? I don't have good self-control. I want to just be like, I want to be doing and making a thing. But that's why I just try to be better. So over time, it's more good than it is bad. I'm also aggressively self-critical to the point where it's not productive. So, those are all the things you got to consider. What were we just talking about before the audio issue thing happened? Oh yeah, regulations. So yeah, or just being informed. But yeah, and then on top of that, if you kind of like go through it, there's a lot of these, people go, because I've definitely gotten here. And it's why I like tapped out on the Israel shit for a little bit, because it just got emotionally overwhelming. And it was just like, because I saw numbers being like Israel's about to wipe out the rest of Gazans and Palestinians and shit, or it was like the amount. It's like the percentage of Gazans that they've killed since October 7th it was like such a sad number. And I was just like, oh, it doesn't matter what we think. So I kind of like fell off on giving a fuck about all that shit. And then it just like, you know what it is? It's no matter. I'm the type of guy that like, it's actually why it's a big reason why I don't know when to quit. Because there's a lot of stuff I've quit that it would have been way better if I quit way earlier. I mean, there's the argument that like, through all the failure, you learn more and blah, 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 blah. But like the reason I'm really bad at quitting is because of my like my conceptualization of doing the right thing. And when it's just like, and I also grew up listening to fucking punk rock music where they were like, yo, speak out about what you think is right. Now, that's not to confuse it with this modern version of silence and violence. Nope. If you don't know what you're talking about, it's completely fine to sit that one out. Honestly, if you don't know what you're talking about, staying silent is more helpful. But yeah, I just grew up with like fucking punk rock, and they were always just like, yo, do the right thing. Say what's right. That's why I like people who act disingenuous bug the fuck out of me. Cause it's like, yo, you're the problem with the world. And it fucking irks me because it's like I fucking hate being like tactful and coy and, oh, if you do it this way, then people are gonna feel this type of way. And it's just like, what if we all just said shit straight up? And I'm not saying like, yo, just say everything you fucking think, because that's unnecessary and mean. People do that a lot of time. It's like that fucking hood rat white girl who goes to Walmart in fucking Dr. Pepper pajamas shit. She's like, I'm just being real. I'm just being real. And it's like, yeah, sometimes being real is just fucking mean. And it's not, there's no one needs to say shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like if you walked up and you're like, your fucking eye's weird looking. Even if it is weird looking, it's like, I'm just being fucking real. And you're just like, yeah, you didn't need to do that. That's just, they know that's mean. But also at the same time, like, I don't know. It's just like I grew up with, I don't know. It's I like passive aggressive shit drives me fucking nuts. And I also associate it with acting like a fucking woman. No disrespect, ladies. I think ladies acting like ladies acting like women fucking rules. Men acting like fucking women doesn't rule. Women acting like men doesn't rule. You get what I'm saying? It's like if you're a lady, act like a fucking lady. If you're a man, act like a man. And that's to say, that just means stay in your lane. But also on top of that, if you're a little bit of an effeminate man, you know, I mean, don't do the weird caricature of a woman that all like the fucking annoying gay guys do. There's a bunch of gay dudes that rule that just are gay dudes, and that's why people like them. And that's why it's like when they saw the Vikings cheerleader and everyone was like, "Oh, you hate gay people?" And it's like, I mean, they're all acting like fucking dorks about this. They don't actually care. But to be fair, people do get triggered on a slutty gay guy because he's just being, it's like, okay, you have this dude who's like just gonna act like the most annoying chick, but they don't even have the benefit of like being hot and having like fat titties or a fat ass. It's just like a twinkie gay guy it's just a skinny twinkie gay guy that has the most annoying attributes of a woman. And you're like, oh yeah, that fucking sucks the most. So it's not about being gay. It's about you're the most annoying person in the room. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, I was talking about Davey Havoc on the fucking stream this morning. No one's got beef with him, and he's gay as the day is long. But he's fucking sick, so no one has fucking beef with him, dude. A gay slut, a glut, yeah. And that's the sound they make when they're just in the slop trough, just glop, glop, glop. But no, it's just like that's my thing too. Like a lot of people give me shit because I'm like loud and boisterous. And like one of my bros last night was trying to do it to me where it's like, oh, you're getting angry. And it's like, you're being a huge fucking loser for fucking 5 minutes straight. Oh, I'm being angry? You're being a huge piece of shit. You're being a double G Frieza. What do you think I'm supposed to do? Oh, I'm supposed to just, so you're being the worst human possible, making everyone's life worse, and I'm just supposed to sit here and go like, what if I figure out a clever way to destroy you emotionally? Or I could just say straight to your face that you're being a problem and you're making everyone's night worse. Because that's what's happening. But also, too, if you say that, because it goes, that's my thing, though. Like, I get why people react the way they react to me when I'm now, all this being said, and I feel like you might not believe me because I'm fucking screaming right now. All this being said, I'm a lovely, soft-spoken, just a good, respectable young man. I mean, brother, when I'm out and about, the way I say yes, ma'am, thank you, ma'am, to older women, I mean, it would melt your heart. But like like in these moments, when it's this thing where I'm just like, we all know what's happening. We all know what's happening right now. Like, and then we all know what's happening right now. And then I talk straight up. And then you have one group of people who go like, well, this is not a socially respectable way of acting. And you have someone else who's just being a liar. You mix those two people. I'm over here looking like a fucking dickhead. And it's just like, dude, I'm the only one being a real fucking person right now. That's why it's just like, I don't do that. Like, that's what irks me with like, you see that with a lot of people now, whether it's in like fucking comedy, on podcasting, or just in real life. You see people going like, oh, I'm going to do some fucking, I don't know. I don't know what the fucking term would be. It'd be like the difference between like, I don't know. I'm just like, yo, let's just do hand-to-hand combat. And then there's other people out there doing like psychologibecause warfare. It's like, yeah, you're doing some fucking gay bullshit the CIA would do to mess with people's perception. You're like gang stalking me right now. You know what I'm saying? It's like, just because you don't got shit. That's why that shit fucking irks me. It's because like you don't got shit. That's why you have to act like a fucking fucking lesbian bitch. And that's a reference to acting. You're acting and pretending. I'm not calling people gay. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's what fucking irks me. And then it's like I have to look like a dickhead, and I'm the only one standing up for truth and freedom. You know what I mean? Yeah, right now I'm Grande Rojo, dude. Andy, the failing New York Times in regards to death in Gaza can only print those under the age of 13 because their owners can't say children. Yeah, they were trying to do that. Well, that was my fucking favorite thing where it's like, what was that thing? Laura Loomer, the fucking actual demon. She was like posting some picture of like, you know, there's like these kids there's these like Gazan children who are all dirty, and the one looked fucked up, and they were like, look at these malnutrition kids, and you're like, the one on the right looks like they ate last week. They're not malnutrition. And you're like, are you guys literal demons? You're literal demons over there. Bro, I just got some Frieza Crocs. That rips. You gotta send me a picture of those. That's so funny. Double G Frieza. Yeah, that's when it just I need to find another way of being, because it happened to me last night. One of my buddies was just being a fucking liar, Double G Frieza. And then he basically responded with the like, what? And then I spaz. Because in my head, I'm like, this is a justifiable spat. You know what I think I need to do? I think instead of like raising my voice, I think I need to just like be angry. Because I think the anger drives me. That's what keeps me going. That's my coffee in the morning, is being angry. No, but for real though, I think I need to focus more on like keeping a level tone, because when people are acting disingenuous and passive aggressive, and when they're being double G Friezas, they're waiting for you to. And dude, I gotta be honest too. I don't even like view it. Laura Loomer's a dude. I got to be honest. I realize Laura Loomer made me realize there's something wrong with me sexually, because of like every time she acts more and more like a demon, you just see her and you're like, damn, it'd be so fun to fucking mush your head into a pillow and just absolutely clap your cheeks. But that's a conversation for another day. I have problems. I love a fucking evil bitch, and then you're almost like. You're like, I'll show you. I'll fucking calm you down. Yeah, that was some weird shit I just said. Send the picture on IG. Hell yeah. Oh, but like, so even I've said it before too, where it's like, oh yeah, so people who are trying to be like disingenuous double G Friezas, they now are looking. They're looking for a reason you fucked up. You know what I mean? So like they're basically planning bombs. They're planning landmines, and they're hoping for you to walk over those landmines, and then they can turn around and be like, "Oh, you spat." And it's like, because I remember what was happening last night. My one buddy was just being a problem. You know what I mean? Not like a huge problem, but there was just one moment where I'm trying to stay vague about it, because it's like I'm gonna calm down I'm just hyped up in the moment. I'm not like mad about it. I'm just sort of breaking it down, and just like, because here's the thing, people get confused with me where it's like, oh, Andy's angry about this. And it's like, no, I just get animated. And it's like, I'm not mad at you. I'm just mad at the logic. I'm mad at the illogical nature of what you're doing. If you just stop doing that shit that doesn't make any sense and goes contrary to like goes contrary to being a productive member of society, if you just reverse that, I'll go back to loving you. But now you're an evil entity tearing the fabric of the universe. You know what I mean? Like, that's what it's like. It's almost, it's literally, not literally, but it's almost a la. It's like, oh no, you just got possessed by a Frieza demon. That's how I look at it. Because it's like the second you just stop doing that, I love you again. But right now you're possessed by a Frieza demon who's making you act like a double G Frieza. So it's like, I know this isn't you. That's why I get mad. I go, bring me back my friend. You stole my friend. That's how I look at it. I go, you stole my friend. You stole my friend, Frieza Demon. Bring him back. Bring him back right now. You stole him from me. I love my friend dearly, and you stole him, you Frieza Demon. So I'm basically trying to excise what is it? Exercise? Whatever it is. I'm definitely not trying to exercise. But I'm trying to. I'm just saying that joke before one of you guys say it. You fucking hacks. Just kidding. There's so many people in the chat. Please stay here. I love you guys so much. Go check out Big Red in the Morning. Everyone, right now, go check out Big Red in the Morning. Well, you're checking it out right now. I mean the YouTube channel. But no, it's that's kind of how I look at it, where it's like, oh, I'm trying to excise the demon out of you because it's like, this isn't you. Normally, you're the coolest dude I know. Right now, you're possessed by fucking Regina George from Mean Girls. You know what I mean? You're acting like a fucking pussy right now. Stop acting like a pussy. That's the thing I get annoyed with. It's like, what are you mad at? You being a pussy. My friend I love is not a pussy. Stop being a pussy. You know what I mean? Would it be fair to say a Frieza demon is a Freeman? I don't know. There's a lot of nice people named Freeman. I don't want to associate them with that. But yeah, that's how I look at it. So then, but that's the thing. It's like, then you're possessed by the double G Frieza demon. And now you're like being like, what are you being mad about? And it's like, you like, that's a thing. I stopped doing that. I stopped trying to, because it's like, I don't play the game anymore. I go, you're doing some pussy bullshit. You're doing pussy bullshit over here. You're acting like Regina George from Mean Girls. You're acting like a teenage girl. I'm not doing that. I'm treating you like a fucking adult right now. So don't give me the whole fucking like, when are you mad at? You know what I'm mad at. You stop acting that way. Stop being a pussy. Like, that's the shit that drives me fucking nuts. Yeah, you have a grown-ass man acting like an absolute fucking pussy, and then they get mad at you because they don't allow you to let them behave that way. It's like, get fucked. Get fucked. Oh, God. Oh, God forbid me at 35 doesn't want to exchange quips a la 15-year-old girls. God forbid. You know, it drives me fucking nuts. And here's my thing. If that's how you want to live your life, live it. Just don't knock me because I'm doing the right shit. You know what I mean? I live my life doing the right shit. I don't act like a fucking pussy. And when I do, I apologize. You know what I mean? I don't do that shit. So it's like, it's this fucking annoying ass thing. It's this fucking annoying ass thing where it's like, you just do all the right shit and then everyone fucking shits on you for, it's like, oh, look at you. Oh, look at you being a respectable citizen, apologizing when you're wrong. You know what I mean? Not fucking, and then when you make a right point, you're not talking over someone. Sorry. That's, by the way, I started noticing it's fucking girl bullshit because, all respect to my wife, she's in the other room. That's why I'm whispering right now. No, but for real, like, you guys know when you're like fighting with your girl and then you start winning. Every girl does this. And women are beautiful. Women are beautiful, but they're the most illogical creatures when you're arguing with them. They like there's some of they're so smart and beautiful and lovely creatures. But the second you're in the argument, they do not understand simple sentences. It's so fucking exhausting. They don't understand simple sentences. You know what I mean? They turn into that fucking lady in the Jordan Peterson interview. So what you're saying is, and then it's just like you'll say a thing, and then it's that lady in the Jordan Peterson interview who will be like, so you're saying, and then they say words you said, but comprehended in a complete 180. And then it's like I start noticing my friends doing that. I notice it. Some of my friends will do that. It's hilarious. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to talk so much shit. All this comes from love. Like, truly. You know what I mean? It's like if you saw your friend. It's like if you saw your friend was addicted to heroin. And I know this is an extreme example. I'm not talking shit. I love all my friends so fucking dearly. I would no questions asked. I would no questions asked fucking hide a body with all my friends, with any of my good friends. You know what I'm saying? It's just sometimes sometimes it's like when your friends if it's like if you had a friend addicted to heroin and you were like, first off, if you had a friend addicted to heroin, you wouldn't like talk to them all nice. Hey man, it'd be really nice if you no, you'd fucking get in their face and be aggressive. If you loved them, you would. You know what I'm saying? She leaned closer to the door. It's so funny. But you know what I'm saying? It's just like and also I'm just a big dumb wop, and this is how I express myself. So it's like none of this is shit talking. I love all my friends so fucking dearly. Um, but no, and I know who you guys are thinking. You're like, is it fucking Pat Lemaire, Nate? Yes. No, it's a lot of people I interact with, and it's just it's. I'm also too. I'm not being like, oh, they do this shit all the fucking time. They're more good than they are. They're fucking 99% awesome. There's just, you know what I mean? Comics are psychos. And then on top of that, there's other people around. I don't know. I'm sorry. Now I feel like I'm talking shit. I just because I'm not talking. I'm just, you know what it is? I'm really more talking about male behavior in general, because that is the kind of, it's why the like Andrew Tates and stuff of the world get me so animated and shit. The Andrew Tates of the world and shit get me so animated, because it's like that's really what it is more. That's really what it is. Yeah, do some of my close friends do this from time to time, but at the end of the day, if you take the averages, they're way more fucking men than half these fucking people out there that I know. But I'm also too just talking broadly. You know what I mean? I'm talking broadly. It's more of just like it's like male behavior I see. It's like male behavior I see out there, and it's why like the Andrew Tates of the world fucking annoy me, because it's like, and all those types of dudes, which a lot of them are closeted gay. Clearly, I don't have proof, but it's very obvious in my opinion. Andrew Tate, well, the Andrew Tate, and I know sounds like low hanging fruit, but he doesn't seem like he has any low hanging fruit. Like, I know it sounds like Andy, you hide a body. Andy, you hide a body every time you lay atop your wife. See, that's what I like, Slav. I like that shit. Andy always be talking broadly. I am though. I feel bad because now I'm like, as I'm just ranting, I'm just venting, and I'm realizing that some of this is gonna come off because it's like, you know who my good friends are. It's gonna come off like I fucking hate them, and like, because that's the other thing. This is the other thing too. It's like people always try to prescribe motive on my things that I'm not outwardly saying, and I go, I don't think I'm that deep of a guy. Like I can have I have some complex thoughts and all this other shit, but it's like I'm not, and I'm not saying this in a negative way. There's not, like, what you see is what you get. I don't hide a lot under the surface. You know what I mean? Yeah. Is there a thing or two that makes me come that I find odd? Sure. Are you going to find out about it if you come to the creek on Wednesday and buy me a bunch of drinks? But that's the other thing too, is like, I don't like, again, I don't do any of that pussy shit, sneak this shit. You know what I mean? Like, let me just talk like that. I don't talk like that. But no, it's just like any of that shit. I've done it before. What I was describing, like, all of my friends have done that. And it's not like I'm just on a podcast talking shit. I've called them double G's without saying Frieza to their face. You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing people don't realize, because there's so many people in like entertainment who are phony people. I'm like this in real life. Buy me a couple beers at the creek on Wednesday. You'll hear me go fucking nuts on any conspiracy you want to hear me go on. Like, I can't stress how much this is just how I am in real life. So anything I'd be saying to my fucking friends' faces. But also too, it's like, I love them deal. I don't want people to think I'm doing like some fucking passive aggressive shit, because I would fucking stab my own throat if I was ever that passive aggressive. Because literally fucking one of the dudes that was making me, like, literally, the way I'm talking on here is how I was talking to my friend last night who was pissing me off. So, like, let me just keep it a buck. Like, I'm calling them double G's to their face. I want everyone to know that. I meant you like discussing broads. No, I know what you meant. I'm sorry. I just took your response and made it super literal. No, I've gotten people with, you know what, it's very frustrating for me, because I'm so, like, I know how I sound. I know, like, I think I was saying this earlier. I was watching one of my videos. And dude, there's something about like my face. I don't notice it when I'm talking on here, but when I watch them back, I go, yeah, dude, I was like, I watch my videos going like, do you seriously not smoke weed, dude? You seriously don't smoke weed, Andy. That's crazy. And then when I watch them back, I hear how I talk and all this shit. And yeah, I get why people might be dismissive of my energy sometimes when I get into the realm of like, hey, I'm about to make a really good point. But I get people's perception of me because my perception of me is just as bad. But like, I hate when people act like I'm doing some sneaky shit because I'm not good at that. Like, I'm good at, like, I could probably hit you with a decent, non-consequential white lie. And I'm not just saying because I'm a honky, but like, I could do that. I could do, like, I've definitely fibbed to my wife when the full story, it didn't matter to explain the full story. You know what I mean? But I can't like just flat out make up a whole fucking thing. I'll definitely do I'll definitely do a soft white lie here or there. You know what I mean? If I don't want people to find out an embarrassing thing about me, you know what I mean? Like if you'll have a thing and, you know, I don't know, people are like, how many cheeseburgers did you eat last night? I will lower that number. You know, it's like stuff like that. That's what I mean by white lies. But this shit where it's like, I don't know. And it's funny too, because it's kind of, people reveal themselves when you notice someone goes, you're doing this, and you know for a fact you're not even doing a little bit of that. You're not even doing an ounce of that. They're basically revealing, because it's like I revealed it for myself where I remember we had our buddy JJ Curry on the recent episode. And I was paranoid of JJ when I first met him because he was so nice and he would give me hugs all the time and shit. And I didn't know him that well. And I was like, what's this about? And then I got to know JJ and I was like, JJ's just a really cool guy. And I go, oh, I'm paranoid. I'm a paranoid person. But like a lot of people wouldn't be that self-aware. And they would just go, no, there's something up with that guy. That's what like a lot of crazy shit. That's how people develop a lot of crazy theories about people is because they don't take people. And obviously people lie all the time. But I got to be perfectly honest. Like until I sense a problem, until I what am I trying to say? Until I sense a problem, until I see a certain type of thing, until I catch a people in a lie, I don't know, man. I have no choice but to take people at their word. Now, if I don't know, like that doesn't mean, oh, if I don't know you very well, like I'm not going to give you high level clearance. You know, if Andy Malafrino was the Pentagon, I'm not going to give you fucking high level clearance. You know what I mean? But at the same time, like, you know, I'm not gonna waste my time constructing. I'm not gonna waste my time constructing your character profile if I don't have any good evidence to. That's why, by the way, I'm perfect for these fucking conspiracy theory things because I have a very good vetting process for the information. You know, it's like I'm constantly cross-referencing shit when people bring it up. You know what I'm saying? But it's like I do that with people. I take people on face value until you give me a reason not to. And if you've never given me a reason not to, and you're not overtly affecting my life in a negative way, then I don't care who you actually are until that becomes relevant because you in no way affect my life in a negative way. So it's, and also too, if I have a sense that someone's being a phony, like I'm not going to get super close to them. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know. And because of that, give me Lemaire's phone number. He lived with Shane, basically CIA. Well, yeah, Lemaire is a double agent. That's why it's him and Nate. They'll be like, oh, Russia and China, they're so scared. They work for them. I don't know why they act like it's not obvious. Like Lemaire works for Russia and China. And Nate said he'll be the aliens' dogs when they take over us. You know what I mean? Like they're double agents. I don't know what I'm saying. Lemaire's in the sunken place. Where? His fucking couch? Fat bitch. No, I'm sorry, Lemaire. I didn't mean to call you a bitch. You are fat though. As am I. But yeah, so like that's why I get fucking frustrated where it's like, yo, because I don't like that fucking. I can't live as like, ooh, I'm actually this guy. That's why it's like I'm so public about everything I think and all these things. I don't like hiding. It drives me, it makes me feel uneasy. That's why I don't like being around. That's the other thing, by the way, going back to my original point, dudes who act like that with their fucking like passive aggressive shit, you can't be yourself around them because they're always constantly like picking at you and shit like that. I'm like, you do that. That's what you're gonna do. You know what I mean? So it's like, yo, I can't be me around you. That's why I don't fuck with you. Like if how you are won't allow me to be me to a reasonable degree, we don't gotta hang out. It's why I don't got time for people like that. The type of person where it's like you just because like you could just the type of person that's always gonna like point out some little bullshit. It's like, yo, if none of it's catastrophic, just let this shit roll. Let this shit roll. Let people be themselves. Unless it's like a real bad, like if someone just being themselves, vibing out is like, yeah, dude, I fucking drug girls' drinks and fucking rape them and shit. You're like, don't let that guy be him. That one's obvious. But if someone's a little fucking weird, let them be them. Who gives a shit? That's the kind of people I can't fuck with. That's where I spaz because I go, you're not letting me be me. You're not letting me be a free butterfly spreading my wings. You know what I mean? We got one life. I'm not trying to be a version of me that's like I'm not trying to be like a predetermined version of me that someone else decided. I'm trying to like do my thing. You know, and it's like I just wish I don't know. For the sake of my comedy career, I wish the world was more accepting of me. But everyone hates me, guys. Everyone fucking hates me. But yeah. Anyway. But yeah. People are bitches. The fuck else were we talking about? What is worse, counting how many cheeseburgers eaten or beers drunk? Beers drunk doesn't matter. It's how drunk you get. Well, if you start racking up 4 to 6 beers and you're not feeling anything, then we might want to figure that out. Yeah, I don't know. Well, I guess beer. I don't know. You ever just say shit? You ever just say shit and you like realize you might be an alcoholic? See, here's my thing. I'm not an alcoholic. The numbers I put up, real alcoholics would shame me. Real alcoholics would shame me. But do I have very clear alcoholic tendencies? 5,000%. Know what I mean? 5,000% do I have real deal alcoholic tendencies. And I've very like I have like a lot of addict tendencies that I keep under wraps. So yeah. Sorry. Damn. A lot of what's funny? A lot of good videos we should check out. Sorry, I'm just trying to I want to go get some more drink, but I'm looking for something to throw up my dinner, guys. My dinner. No, don't embrace the alcoholism. Don't be like afraid of drinking, but don't romanticize any of that shit. I know you're being funny. But for real though, don't romanticize any of that shit. That's where people get fucked up. It's completely fine to get fucked up. And then you deal with that. And then you do things to try to counteract it enough so you can keep going as long as you can. It's when you start romanticizing being the drunk. And it's like, no, be a guy and then get drunk when you feel like it. Or if you romanticize the weed smoker, that's when you get fucked up. This, by the way, is why I get so fucking heated all the time. It's like it's frustrating to be this fucking right all the time, and then everyone just doesn't. Everyone just talks to you like you're a big dumbass. You're like, well, don't fucking. I'm fucking right all the time. What are you fucking mad about? That's why I think it's my tone, and I know I'm being funny, but it's like, I know I'm not. I know I'm not right all the time, but like I know I'm a reasonable man. I'm nothing if I'm not a reasonable man. That you can give me. So it's like, I know it happens with my wife a lot. It happens with my friends a lot. Oh, and that's what I was going to say, by the way. That's when I know my friends have got infested with the double G Frieza demon, is when I'm like, are you using, that was going to mention that, but I'll be arguing with my friends and then they'll just be like, I'll be arguing with my friends, and then immediately I'm like, are you using girlfriend tactics right now? I've been noticing that more over the past couple years, and I'll keep it a buck. I'm sure, like, I've gotten into arguments, and that's another thing I should have said earlier. I act like a fucking Frieza from time to time as well. Just not as much as those fucking pussies. No, for real though. It's like, I act like a Frieza, and I hate myself. I'm just better than them. It's just better, but like it's different for me. I was thinking about calling that would be a funny comedy special title. It's different for me. It's different when I do it. Actually, different when I do it would go fucking hard. But what the fuck was I saying? Oh yeah. That's when I started noticing it more. I got better at realizing, because you know what it was? For the longest time, I would not, because I've just been a guy who's so afraid. Like, I spent my whole life being like, I don't want anyone to be mad at me. And then it's like, the more I've just been okay with people being mad at me, that's the thing. That will keep you in a fucking mental prison. That'll make you not live a genuine life. If you're just always worried about people being mad at you or people making fun of you. That's how I got funny. Because I was like afraid of people making fun of me. And I was like, I need to fucking destroy people. It's why I have a very aggressive approach to comedy, because I've built up that mindset of like, how do I beat you right now? You know what I mean? Rather than like, how do we do a communal joking around and stuff like that. Damn, actually, honestly, I'm having a much more clear perspective on that, saying that right now. Cause yeah, it did. Part of being funny for me developed as a defense mechanism, because I was just like, I don't want anyone to fucking be mean to me or bitch me up or anything. And so it made me look at a lot of jokes that were just people being funny as like people attacking me. You know what I mean? Damn, I'm kind of having this epiphany now. And this is, by the way, why like I'm good for an apology, man, because I'm always very self-aware. I think some people I talk to, I don't know if they're as self-aware of this, but it's like I'm self-aware of how much I fuck up. You know what I mean? And how wrong I actually am. Like, I was joking before, like, but that's why I corrected it. It's like, I know I'm not right all the time, but I am a reasonable man. And I feel like people, and this might be like a little bit of a victim mentality, but I feel like sometimes people don't talk to me like, sometimes the way people talk to me, they talk to me like a made up person in their head, rather than like, I was like, yo, does my track record for being a reasonable man not get me anything? You know what I mean? But that could just be me being that could be a little bit of a victim thing in my head that I've developed, and it's hard to shake, but who the fuck knows? We'll never know anything. But Andy, I'm not worried about people being mad at me, but people being disappointed in me hurts a lot. Yeah, well, you're definitely not worried about people being mad at you. The people being disappointed in me, that's a tough one, because like, it depends on what it is, because I've had many people disappointed in me or whatever, but it's like, hey man, I don't really agree with your perspective on life. So what you're disappointed about means nothing to me. I'm more focused on like, that's why I like to have conversations and learn people's perspectives, because I just hate people okay, perfect example. I got in an argument with my wife the other day. I thought she was wrong front to back, but she got really upset and that really bugged me. And so like I had this weird, I wasn't trying to be passive. I understand how this will come off as passive aggressive, but I was just trying to be blunt with her and frank. But I was like, I go to her, I was like, I basically told her, I was like, I don't think I was wrong, but I probably pushed the point a little too hard and I got you angry. And at the end of the day, the last thing the worst thing in my life is when you're angry like that. So that's why I apologize. Cause it's like, whether I think I'm right or not, I don't want to make you that angry. You know what I mean? So it was like stuff like that. Yeah. So it's like, I don't know. People can be disappointed in me, and they don't know what I like and what my intentions are and what my, philosophical outlook is on things all the time. So like there are a lot of times where it's like, yeah, you might be disappointed in me, but that's okay. You know what I mean? It's like if someone was just like, "Oh man, I'm just disappointed Andy went down those conspiracy theory rabbit hole," and it's like, well, I think my viewpoint on the world is substantially more accurate and nuanced than yours, so I'm very okay with it. It's like one of those things. Oh, but yeah, that last point, yeah, it's just once you be self-aware, once you start using girlfriend tactics in arguments. I remember noticing my friend doing that. Once you start making a good point, he started just kind of like over talking you. And then, oh, yeah, that's what girlfriends do is like once you start making a good point, they start, when you start making, my wife does this to me all the time. It's also why I'm such a dickhead. Cause it's like people give me shit sometimes because I focus on people's tone too much. And I will give you a pass if your tone sounds shitty and then I call you on it and you go, I genuinely don't think I sound like that. I'll give you a pass because that's if it's like intent. Intent is important to me. You know what I'm saying? So like if you now obviously even if you didn't have bad intent, you could still sort of like be insensitive and fuck up. But if I'm just like reading your tone wrong, um yeah, if I'm just reading your tone wrong, then that's fine. But no, people yeah, like my wife gives me shit sometimes cuz I think I like read into like tone and shit too much. But and I do sometimes, but I don't think I do all the time. But it's not even just tone actually. It's like I'll be arguing with my wife and then I'll be making a good point and either she'll just be like cuz it's one of two things. Either she realizes I'm making a good point and she wants to like bob and weave about that cuz I've seen her do it before. We were arguing about something. I can't remember what. I just remember her pivot. We were arguing about something and then she just pivots to things like like we were arguing about I don't even remember. I don't remember what it was. I just remember the pivot was insane. Cuz we were arguing about one thing and then she pivots to me not cleaning up after myself. And she goes specifically to cuz it's like I'm in my 30s. I take a piss. I take a piss and, get a little drip drip on the bowl. That's just how my dick works in my 30s now. And this was actually a couple years ago. I didn't realize it was starting to happen because it never happened. And now I'm just like leaving a little drip drip on the fucking bowl. I don't even know that's fucking happening. So she just calls me out for that, which is just once again I forget the original topic. I'm telling you, the pivot was a fucking 180. You know what I mean? It was a complete 180 of a pivot. Um, it was a complete 180 of a pivot. And I was just like, and I was like, oh, because I started noticing like, and I'm not trying to just call up my wife. I'm sure a million women do this shit. Cause like I can see it in her when I start making a good point. Cause she does this thing a lot where I will apologize for things before she's done being mad at me, which that also drives me a little bit crazy. Cause I'm just like, you're mad about A, and then I do good apologies. I do good apologies. But it's like she's mad about A. I realize that that's a fair grievance, and I front to back completely apologize about it. And then she still stays, and it's like a real apology. It's a genuine apology. And then it's like she just stays mad about that for another half hour, which always like triggers my autism because I was like, the problem's solved. What? There's nothing left to be. So like that's the kind of. Why was I saying that? Oh, so it's like I don't know. I think sometimes my lady gets set in an emotion. It's like you need to give me a minute to get out of this. Which, if that's a thing, that's fair. My only other thing is she doesn't like. Here's the truth. Biology, God hates women. Clearly, the way their bodies function, he hates women. And it's like, yo, I will acknowledge that your hormones make you go crazy. I would go 10 times more nuts if I had to deal with that. Can we just acknowledge that's happening when it's happening? That's the other part that irks me. It's like, dude, if you're just on Front Street with me, I'll let you rip. I'll let you do your damn thing. You just gotta. It goes back to the thing that irks. It goes back to the thing from earlier where I'm just like, why are you acting like this is not obvious? Why are you acting like it's not obvious that you're doing this because of A, B, and C? She's acting like it's D, E, and F, and I'm like, no, we all know it's A, B, and C. Why are you acting like it's D, E, F? You know what I mean? That's the kind of shit that irks me. But no, yeah, going back to the argument earlier, we were arguing about something. She pivots to the fucking drip drip on the toilet. And it's like, I realized afterwards, I was like, her energy changed before she threw that out there. Because she was starting to, like, her energy was like slowing down as I was making the good point. And then it picked back up. And then she makes the other point about the drip drip. And I was just like, oh. So rather than just, because it's like, because what? Because you're not done being mad. You're gonna, because you're not done being mad. You're gonna just pivot to a new thing. So we can then probably argue about that for another 20 minutes. Then just go, oh shit, my fault. Which is fair to a degree because I was probably being a little bit of a dick. But it's like I'm also gonna get defensive if you like come at me like that. You know what I mean? But it is like that's a thing, and I started because I would be so uncomfortable in that type of conflict because I would be more focused on like she's mad at me, or not even just that she's mad at me, she's angry. I don't like people being upset around me. It's why like I don't know. It's like I definitely get uncomfortable in certain type of situations like that. It's just how I naturally am. I wish I wasn't like that at all as often, but it's just like it's not even like because for the longest time I thought it was like, oh, they're mad at me, but I've noticed it's also in situations where I was just like, this is not a good vibe. I don't like this. Let's do things to avoid this. You know what I mean? So when I'd be arguing with my wife, then she would get angry. I would just immediately do shit. To be like, let's just do whatever we got to do so you're not angry anymore. And then a lot of times you just end when you do that, Jesus, Slav. It's not that God hates women, it's that Eve messed it all up. Also, women kill babies. I mean, yeah, but male doctors also kill babies. But no, also, yeah, so I would always be trying to just be like, do it, but then I would end up apologizing for things I didn't actually think I should have apologized for. So like in the moment I'd apologize, and then afterwards I'd get mad and resentful because I just apologized for that. And then I started to realize it's like I don't want to just call out my wife. My wife's literally like the greatest person on earth. Like I'm not trying to I'm just kind of like talking through stuff. She's the best. But like, and everyone does this, by the way. Because a lot of times people pleasers, and that was my big problem. I was a huge people pleaser for the longest time. And that was a big problem of mine. And a big thing that happens when you're a people pleaser is people take advantage of you. But it's not in like a big overt way. It's that kind of shit where like, okay, perfect example. I used to work at this job, and the one dude I worked with was like, because I realized this because I was doing it to someone else. But I worked with this guy, and he would always bum me cigs. And, at first it would be like, a cig here or there. And then it just got so I just subconsciously started realizing he's never going to give me any pushback on these cigs and shit. So, it's getting up to the point where it's like I'm bumming. I mean, like every pack he gets, probably 4 or 5 of them are going to me. And that's like a non-insignificant amount. Like he's getting American Spirit. So at the time they were like $10 a pack. Every pack he gets, 250 of it, I owe him 250. You know what I'm saying? And it's like and I wasn't thinking about it because at no point did he ever give me shit for it. And so after a certain time, after forever of like bumming cigs, he rather than just being direct, because this is what happens when you're a people pleaser. You like let it bottle up and you get resentful and you get way more angry. And rather than talking in a constructive way, or not, because there is part of it's on me. It's like after a certain point, it's like you should have bought a pack. You know what I mean? I get that 100%. But it is also a thing where it's like I'm gonna be less prone to thinking about that because like you are also kind of setting the vibe that you're like, I don't care that you bum this many cigs. You know what I mean? Like I have certain friends that'll just like give me a cig when we're hanging out. You know what I mean? And like, so you're relaying to me that like money's not an issue, brother. You know what I mean? Like some shit like that or whatever. So it's like on part, yeah, should I be more mindful and maybe buy a pack or something like that? True, but if it's just Sig City all the time, I'm going to be less likely to think about that shit. So you've now established a certain type of behavior that's okay. You know what I mean? You've established a certain type of behavior that's okay. People, and if you don't ever give pushback, people are just going to like develop that subconsciously, like, this is fine. This is fine. What's happening? Everything here is fine. And they're not going to realize, because you're just sitting there waiting for them to get it. They're not going to get it. If this is the thing they keep doing, they're not going to get it. So you're sitting there hoping they get it. They're not going to get it. You're not realizing how much control you have over the situation. So you're putting the onus on them to do the right thing. And so every time they don't do the right thing, you're going to get more and more resentful of them. And in actuality, the reality of the situation, because you're just worried about people being like mad at you and shit like that. And the reality of the situation is like, bum a cig, cool. Bum another cig, cool. By the third or fourth time, you're like, and this, by the way, is why I always get irritated why people are like over the top aggressive about shit. Like you just fucking kick their dog. And this is why learning how to be funny is such a good skill to have. Because it's like you got two options. When you start getting annoyed by the third or fourth one, Hatcha, what's up, brother? When you start getting annoyed by the third or fourth one, you got two options. You can go, you could say the same thing for both. You could go, are you really not going to buy your own pack? And then, or you don't have the exact same words. not be good. But yeah, no, you could like you could go angry and go, you're fucking mooch. Are you seriously not gonna buy a new pack? Or you could go like money kind of tight, just kind of struggling out there. Both get across the same message, but one is like one, and this is where my overanalyzing gets me fucked up. Because when you do the first one goes like, you think I'm a dickhead. I haven't done anything to be treated like a dickhead. So like then my dumb retarded brain goes, there's an injustice in the world and we have to fucking, it's, you know, I mean, stupid shit. That's why it's good to try to not take literally anything personally and try to just worry about yourself and not have a grand perspective on reality of what's right and what's wrong and think you're the arbiter of truth in the world. I'm not saying about me, I'm saying about other people. But sorry. I had a TikTok blow up. But yeah, so then through that process, yeah, you can I prefer going the joking route, especially if I'm not like, there'll be a lot of times where it's like, I'm not mad at you, just stop doing this. You know what I mean? It goes back to like the double G shit I was saying earlier. It's like, I'm not mad at you, just stop doing this. It's annoying that you're doing this. Yeah, give me 1 sec. I'm gonna pull up a video real quick. I'm gonna go grab another beverage and maybe try to see if I have a snack somewhere. Snack something? Where am I? I'm over here now. Yeah, let me here.
Being a line cook
Watch this Chinese guy make some food. I will be back in a second.
is a lot about working with and inside of organized chaos. During service, it's really, really hectic, incredibly fast-paced. 15 minutes will feel like 5 seconds. It's really just about getting the food out as fast as it can be made, as well as it can be made. Prepping, by comparison, I get to take all this time to compose myself. It's a little bit like a moment to breathe before we have to get going. And I obviously just take a lot of pride in putting out the best possible product. Hi, I'm Tristan Kwong, line cook at Bonnie's Brooklyn. We're here in Chinatown, it's 10 a.m. and before we go into Bonnie's, I gotta buy some fruit for the restaurant. Right now, we're in an alleyway underneath the Manhattan Bridge. I would consider it a hidden gem. I come here because they have a huge selection of Asian fruits, which is indicative and representative of the Chinese American culture we represent at Bonnie's. The fruit platter changes every day based on what they have at market, so let's go see what they have. And the fruit plate is on the menu because at the end of a Cantonese banquet dinner, they'll serve you either a plate full of oranges or honeydew or something boring and bland. At Bonnie's, we wanted to switch it up and give you something way more delicious. So it's the end of September right now, and I'm looking at end of summer, beginning of fall fruit, which holds a lot of pit fruit and a lot of citrus and grapes. We used to get fruit from vendors in huge cases of like 50 or 60 a piece. Not only was it expensive, but you didn't really get to do a lot of quality control, so things would be rock hard. I live down here, so I have access to all of this, and I can just take it to the restaurant in Brooklyn. Sorry about the train. We're actually literally underneath the Manhattan Bridge. So these are muscadine grapes. They're like regular grapes, except bigger, and they have a thicker skin, and the flesh is like a gummy bear. These are Asian pears, and they're really, really good. They're like halfway between like an apple and a pear. They're super juicy. The best ones always have the most like super up spots on them because that's all the sugar coming to the surface. Avocado are technically fruit, so I'm gonna grab these not for the fruit plate, but for family meal. Or for $5, where can you get a cheaper avocado? I make family meal for the team almost every day, and I like to make good food to give people good feelings. On to basket 2. So these are longan. It translates roughly to dragon eyes. So we're gonna grab some dragon fruit. We have 3 varieties. It's white, yellow, and red. The really ripe ones will have a little bit of give, but you gotta be careful because out here, if you squish it too hard, they'll come over and yell at you. It's about 11:30 now, and I need to check out so we can get to Bonnie's. It's noon now, we just got to Bonnie's. So this is our dining room. It's gonna be packed in about a couple hours. This is the pass where all the food comes out. And this is our service kitchen where I spend most of my time as a line cook. I'm gonna head downstairs to our prep kitchen to put the fruit away and see what I gotta do for the rest of the day. So we're in our prep kitchen now. And the first thing I do when I come in is check our master prep list to see what I need to do for the day. Tasks get broken down based on station. So we have a walk station and a steam station. It's kind of first come, first serve. So you can grab whatever task you like the earlier you are, or you could push off the task that you really don't like to someone else if they come in later. There are a couple things that I usually do as a line cook to get us ready for service. Today I'm gonna be deboning ribs, I'm gonna be making green sauce for our fish, and I'm gonna be cutting fruit. And the first task we're doing today is green mustard condiment for the fish. Change and let's go upstairs. All right, let's go. So as a personal icon of mine, Gucci Mane likes to say, a man without the sauce can be lost, but the same man can be lost in the sauce. So the first thing we're doing today is making our ginger scallion sauce. And that's the base for our green mustard condiment that goes on the fish. Ginger gets peeled really easy with a spoon, does not take much. I can't tell you about everywhere, but here we try to have the line cooks as involved with the process of the stuff that we serve on a day-to-day basis. I think it's important that we have eyes and hands on it so we know exactly how it's made, or if we need to make it during service, just in case, we know how to do it. The fish comes butterflied and deboned. From there, we take the fish, we scrape all the meat out with a spoon, we grind it up with shrimp, water chestnuts, and garlic chives, and then we take that same meat that came out of the fish skin and stuff it back into the skin. And for service, we throw it up on a plancha, shallow fry it, and it comes out like a beautiful ocean hot dog. On a technical scale, that dish is crazy, and it goes really nice with the sauce we're about to make. Throw the ginger into the Robot It's like not a paste, like it still has some consistency to it. You want it to have like a small crunch or at least a little bit of texture. Now I'm just gonna throw the peppers in because they are gonna take much less time to blitz because they are much softer. If I threw the peppers in at the beginning, the peppers would be mush and we'd still have pretty big chunks of ginger. So we're gonna move the oil into this wok, get it ripping hot. Very powerful things demand respect. The wok demands respect. You can see it's like a jet engine. All the jets point one direction. This is easily my favorite tool in the whole kitchen. Yeah, I think every restaurant should have a wok, if not even just to like heat up water. So I'm just gonna add some garlic here and scallions. That's salt, sugar, and MSG. So we pour the essentially boiling oil over our ingredients so that the oil will pick up the flavors. You gotta go slow because it's working with the moisture inside. Super hot. Right now we're just gonna let it hang out and we're gonna let that oil soak up all the flavor. I have to blanch these scallions in the wok. This is a pasta tank.
Blanch those fucking scallions, dude.
I'm gonna shock it right here into some really, really cold water so that they stay nice and green. Flick that wrist. So this is our ginger scallion sauce. Like we whipped a bunch of air into the oil so it's emulsified. It's like nice and bright green. It is my favorite sauce in the restaurant. And we'll just pour it up, put it away until we're ready for service. So I'm gonna label and date these and I'll throw them
Wait, what's the situation with his rings?
in the fridge. So it's 1:30 now. We're gonna debone ribs to make rib sandwich. So we have baby back ribs.
Oh, he did no gloves with rings on? That's crazy. That's crazy business.
All right, let's go.
Also, that kind of ring sucks ass. That's like a fucking, I don't know.
So they're just whole ribs. We throw them in here after they've been marinating for 24 hours. Right now I'm just splitting the backs of the ribs. We take the membranes off. I'm just trying to create like an opening for the bones to come out. This is more or less a 3-day process. We spend 1 day marinating them in a secret marinade and then they get steamed the second day. You can see that they're like super duper flexy. They're basically ready to fall apart. And then on the third day after they've chilled and settled, we take them out and we portion them. Like pretty much no give. I can just slide my finger under here and the boat will pop out. My tip to not burning your fingers is to burn your fingers a lot. It's like building calluses. The more you do it, the less it hurts. At this point, phase me no more. The Chassis McRib, obviously modeled after the McDonald's McRib, except this is not a homogeneous congealed patty of something that is supposed to resemble rib meat, but actually about a third of a rack of ribs, which is absurd. It's like eating 4 or 5 ribs in one sitting, boneless, just in a couple bites. It's covered in char siu glaze, which is a very, very Cantonese dish. It gets Chinese hot mustard, and it gets placed on a milk bun we source from Chinatown, bread and butter, pickles, and onions. Between the acid and like the fattiness in the ribs, the bite is just magic. Next thing we're gonna do is just stack them up together like this. So it's 2:30 now. I'm gonna bring these downstairs, put some heavy weights on top to get them flat so we can portion them tomorrow. And I'll bring fruit up so we can cut our fruit plates. All right, so actually this is my favorite part of the day. When I get to cut fruit, I get to slow down. I get to take my time and I get to be like super meticulous with it because not only is it food, but I consider it to be like partially art. We're gonna start with the pomelo. I'm gonna go ahead and supreme it because pomelos have quite a thick skin, as you can see. And supreming just kind of means to like remove the flesh from in between the segments. Growing up in Queens, in a large Asian American neighborhood, there was always a lot of fruit around. Fruit also has like a deep-rooted connection in like Chinese families where if you have an argument with your parents, they won't really say sorry to you. They'll just bring you a plate of cut fruit, and that's more like their.
I love when people say shit like that, and you're like, "Wow, that's so." You're like, "Oh, you're all fucking retards." I mean, no, I'm not trying to just say I fucking can't stand Chinese people. I got no beef on them personally, but like, you'll hear that about someone's culture, and they'll think it's all cool and quirky, and you're like, "That's retarded." We don't apologize. We just bring a plate of fruit. You're like, oh, you have generational trauma. That's an insane thing to do. And everyone's got it. I'm not just trying to like call out the Chinese. But people always like, it's when you hear something like that, you're like, oh, that's funny. And it's kind of beautiful. No, it's not. It's fucking stupid. Go say you're sorry, you fucking idiots. What are you saying whoa for, Darren? I'm not saying anything controversial.
Their apology. Or if they wanted to say I love you, they won't like say I love you to your face, but they'll bring you a plate of cut fruit and it's essentially the same thing. So when we opened, did we have.
That's so funny. Didn't realize. Wait. Oh yeah, didn't realize Italians and Chinese had it in common. Yeah, Italians are fucking stupid too. Sweet brag, bro. Your parents never expressed remorse. Yeah, dude, that's the thing they do with like Asians will talk about that. They're like, tiger moms. You're like, I don't know. You guys sound retarded. You sound retarded and emotionally stunted. Like, here's my thing. I don't think you should hit a kid. I think when people are, you know, a third of your weight and, you know, their brain's not even close to develop, you should have a lot more patience with them. I'm also like, I mean, if you're rocking haymakers, hitting your kid with like the people's elbow, that's fucked up. You shouldn't do that under any circumstances. If you get frustrated, and give them a little thwack or some shit, like it's the parents that sit them down. You're like, I will spank my kid. I go, that's a little bit psychotic. But if your kid's being a fucking asshole and you give them a little thwack, I don't think you should do that. I'm also not going to say you should go to jail because I've been around children. They're the most frustrating, evil as I shouldn't say the most. They have the potential to be the most frustrating, evil people in the fucking world. And sometimes in the moment, you don't have enough time to think it through. And you've just been fucking shat on by a demon. Not literally, because you shouldn't hit a kid for pooping on you. That's not their fault. But you've just been disrespected by a fucking demon. That's how you feel in the moment. So it's like if any parent spazzes and has a quick little like, you little fucker moment, I get it. I'm more talking about the fucking like haymakers and all that shit and da da da. And it's like, if you accidentally do it in a moment of weakness, that's fine. If you're doing it going like this is gonna make them a good, you know what always made someone a better person? Punching them in the head. You're like, yeah, it's not but anyway. But I'm also, so that's like my thing too with the Tiger Mom shit. I'm not gonna spend my time really fucking getting in their ass about it unless you want me to, Chinese moms. No, it's like I'm not gonna spend my time getting in their ass about it because it's like, there's benefits, there's negatives, but this whole thing where it's like you hear this shit with people's cultures, and it's, you know what it is? It's because people fetishize fucking Asians. They treat them like little Pokemon. Pardon the pun, because I know Japanese Pokemon, but like that's it. It's true. They fetishize them and treat them like little Pokemon. So it's like, ooh, you backwards people live differently, and it's like, yeah, I don't know. I'm over here treating people like people. So sometimes when you tell me about your Tiger Mom story and you're like, but that's just how we were, I go, you guys did, that was bad. That was bad. I gotta adjust my pants. Oh my god. But yeah, that shit's pretty funny. Confucius say, nah, you know what the problem is? You know where that shit comes from with Asian societies is they have a they're very strictly like obey authority. So like you'll have adults like that don't want to give in or admit they're wrong because they have to stay strong as the authority figure. And it's like, yeah, that's why a lot of Asian people are very productive psychopaths. Not literally. I'm being funny. I'm sorry. This is coming off incredibly racist because some of it probably is accidentally. Anyway, fuck. Damn, I wish I had the page from earlier. There were a lot of good ones. There were a lot of good ones on here. Damn. I gotta be honest. Oh, we did this last. You know what? Let's do one of these again, guys. We did this last time with fucking the KFC video. I love these videos. People always make fun of me because I know too much about. People always make fun of me because I know too much about like food production and all this shit. And I go, brother, you say crack burger? Where does it say crack burger? Oh, that one's interesting. Yeah, dude. Oh, I love a quick. This one might be more entertaining actually, and it's not 18 minutes long. But yeah, no, people. I love a quick little 8 to 12 minute video from like a newspaper or magazine YouTube channel. I love watching those. So I know fun facts. I know so many fun facts. Let's watch this one. Why we're talking about the Chinese. Why America's biggest brands are failing to keep up in China.
Just like your regular American fast food restaurant. With a meal that comes with a burger, fries, and a drink. But if you look closely, the rapper proudly declares that this burger has been made in China.
I'm sitting in taste.
I mean, like the whole burger? Yeah, I'm probably being autistic about it. Do they mean like all the ingredients? That, by the way, can I say this? And by the way, if you're new to the stream, this is what you get. You get 20 seconds into a video, I stop and I will talk for a while. You watch How It's Made back in the day? Yeah. I liked how it's made, but it had too much of that like cookie cutter TLC show vibe, and it always lost my interest very quick. All right, Lou, chill. chill. 2 on the nose. Too on the nose. It feels like genuine racism when it's that on the nose. I know you're being funny. I don't think you're actually racist. Brands are falling apart in the country. Just got done with my interview. Crushed it like Andy crushes his chair. Okay. Well, I hope you get fired now, Cartman. What the hell? What do you mean crush my chair? Because I'm fat? I hope you lose that job. I hope you don't get the job, sir. Fuck you. Fuck you. Your name Cartman's cat? Fuck you, Cartman. You're a bitch, buddy. Listen to me, buddy. I hope you don't get that job, guy. Fuck you. That was crazy. You had a good day, and the first thing you thought was, I'm gonna call Andy fat. Fuck you, buddy. You're a big dumb cunt. You're a goddamn freezer. I'll kill you with a knife. I won't do that. Yeah. JK. Oh, wait. Here we go. Love you, buddy.
Tians. It's China's answer to McDonald's. And as you can see, you have all this language here, made in China, a Chinese burger for China.
Oh, that's what I was going to say, by the way. Whenever you see, I don't know. I mean, it'd be one thing for like manufacturing. Because it's like, I don't know. I think it's good for, well, it's just, you know what it is? This hyper obsession of like made in America, or for the Chinese, like made in China. That like hyper obsession really undercuts how awesome like international like trading is. And like if you have like a free market of trade, how fucking awesome it is, because you just get everyone just focuses on what they're good at. You don't have to be like, we actually do everything in America. And it's like, well, I would actually prefer the avocados come from South America, because I watched a documentary and I learned that that is the optimal climate. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and it's like, whatever the fuck it is, like whoever makes the thing the best. I don't care that it's from America. I just care that it's the best product. So like, I will say this though. I get it when it comes to like sort of different manufacturing jobs, where it's like, you know, and that's probably just because of like shipping costs. Like if more cars got made in America, I would love to hear that, but that's just because it would make everything cheaper. You know what I mean? You wouldn't have to pay you wouldn't have to have extra fees that it would cost to just ship cars over here and shit like that. So yeah, for like stuff like that, but you know, it's like if I go to the grocery store and they're like, these avocados were grown down the street, and I go, well, can you get the ones from South America? Because those are probably going to be better. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm a bad Mr. Kitty. Always assumed that I was just being a dickhead. Oh, Cartman scat. Smoke a European cig and you will long for tobacco from the VA or North Carolina farm. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And you know what I mean? Like, also, I don't, you know, I'm trying to think. Yeah, like there's a reason why. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love whiskey from America. But like, I love American whiskey and shit like that. But also, if I see Irish whiskey, or honestly, shout out Japanese whiskey, I also get excited because I know they make it really good. You know, so this hyper obsession with like, you know, this hyper obsession with like made in America, shop local. I go, do they have a better product? You know what I mean? Because it's like I don't have time to do some like Truman Show shit for you if I could just go somewhere else and get a better product. Like, I'm not trying to be a dick, but like, and I get it. Like, the big corporations come in, they do bad things. I'm not saying some shit like that. Although, that's a whole rabbit hole that's going to get us off track. I'm curious about these Chinese burgers.
Chinese stomach. And you can see that they've just got all sorts of Chinese imagery around. A little bit of McDonald's transported to...
Dude, I said this before. Whoever's editing the audio on these videos, fucking figure it out. It's the Wall Street Journal's YouTube channel. It says 100 1.6. Is this from a year ago? Why are you showing me these from a year ago? They need whoever's fucking making these. Figure the fucking audio out. It's nuts.
Imperial era China.
And Tastian is just one example of a Chinese brand squeezing out US rivals. China once presented a huge opportunity for American brands, but now local challengers are eating their lunch, and that threatens the dominance they have held for decades. China is the world's second largest consumer market. The country's more than 1 billion shoppers were once seen as an untapped goldmine for Western brands. This is Beijing's premier shopping district, and you don't have to look far to see which companies have taken center stage.
There's American brands all around me. Over here, we got Ralph Lauren, Tom Ford, and right behind me is perhaps the best known of all of the brands, Apple. In the first quarter of 2024, Apple saw its smartphone sales fall 19%, while that of its Chinese rival, Huawei Technologies, saw its sales rise 70%. For China, Apple saw its revenue fall by 8% to $16.4 billion. And Apple isn't the only American company that's been struggling a little bit more in China lately.
From luxury cosmetics firm Estee Lauder, which is expecting sales in China to fall, to retail giant Walmart, which has closed more than 100 stores nationwide over the past 5 years. Executives of some of America's biggest brand names in China are increasingly worried about the weak performance in the country.
Local brands are expanding so rapidly in China. Any CEO who is worried about his performance, his profits, is going to be threatened by them. We have seen stock prices fall, Nike stock prices fall, for example, on the back of kind of weakening performance in China.
China once represented almost a fifth of Nike's global sales.
Nike has long dominated China's sportswear market, but that's changing. Younger Chinese consumers are increasingly gravitating towards brands that incorporate elements of traditional Chinese culture and style. And it's allowed brands like Anta, right over there, to make inroads in a market that long has been dominated by Nike.
Yo, is that Jake Ricka in the chat? Jake Ricka in the chat. Jake Ricka in the chat. The greatest editor of Austin. Stand up. Anyway, no, Jake will be on the show. Big Jake Ricka, aka Spider-Man 3. He will be on the show Wednesday. Right? Did we get you on that? Yeah. He'll be on the show Wednesday at the Creek in the Cave. Come down. Anyway, Big Jake Ricka. Big Jake Ricka. Get it out of here.
Nike and other Western brands.
Chinese consumers are trying new brands like Anta on for size, and in many cases, they aren't going back. As a sponsor of the Chinese Olympic team, Anta has found a place among Chinese shoppers as a brand that matches growing nationalist sentiment.
Anta supports the new generation of Chinese Olympic athletes.
It was very much linked to very big and bold expressions of Chinese pride. So think about your large logos, red and yellow color combinations. It's resonating especially with younger consumers today because they don't have.
Am I crazy? This Chinese lady sound Indian? Why you not sound like your face? Why Chinese lady you don't sound like face?
The same level
It's fun being racist.
of adoration for the West as the past generations. It's not about, blind kind of, I'll buy something from the West of it being from the West.
American brands have reaped huge profits by capitalizing on changing Chinese consumer tastes. Starbucks largely created China's new coffee culture in a country long dominated by tea drinkers. But that
I heard someone explain this. This is actually fucking, I don't know if they're going to go into it, but it's actually fucking crazy. Because, sorry, I accidentally clicked on a video over here and it was distracting me. No, it's actually kind of crazy what I forget what it was specifically, but, they, because like China did not have a culture of drinking coffee. And they had to. Oh yeah, I think I saw a clip of Schultz talking about this. The fuck was it? They like Starbucks got people. This, by the way, is why I just hate. Like, I'm not a fan of. I was talking shit earlier, but I'm also not a fan of big corporations because it's like when you find out how much people manipulate your life. Well, I'm always like on the fence sometimes about with the like, oh, you know, because it's one thing to like just change Chinese interests, because it's like if they didn't, because it was this whole fucking thing where they were like selling these coffee flavored treats with a thing that Chinese people consumed a lot. So they would get these like treats, and then over the couple of years, people got the taste for coffee. And then over time they were craving coffee and stuff. So then the coffee shops start coming in. So Chinese people start enjoying the coffee. I'm mixed about it, because it's like from my perspective, I'm like, yeah, I mean, coffee rips. I have a problem drinking too much coffee. But at the same time, if I was never introduced to it, would I want, and would my life be better? It's like, are you giving me something I want, or are you giving me a new addiction? So that's why it's like it's like when you find out the game planning that these corporations do, it's just like, God damn it. Can I just live my life? Because I'm a big proponent of just leave me alone and let me live my life. And then you start to realize how much your world, it just all goes back to like, it's all fake and gay. Because, it's like, and I do think people need to regularly go outside and touch grass. Thankfully, I do stand-up comedy, and it brings me out of the house at night every day. Not every day, but a lot of days. But they're like, there is, obviously you should leave the fucking house. If not for nothing, just to get some fucking vitamin D. And then watch my stream so you get vitamin D's nuts, you fucking bitches. Anyway, but no, for real, it's like, if not for nothing, just go outside and get some vitamin D. But also, like, I know for me, like, some of my favorite nights are when I don't have to worry about comedy bullshit, and I just get to sit outside at the creek in the cave and drink beers and rip cigs, you know what I mean? Like, and just talk shit with people. That shit's really fun, you know what I mean? Just chilling like that, and like that's good for your soul. But then, like, I gotta be honest, on the flip side, people fuck, this is still like a new thought I'm ruminating on, so it's like it might not be completely ready for press. This might be like I'm throwing this opinion out in beta. This is beta test. You know what I mean? Like what they just did with Battlefield. This is like the free weekend of beta testing. But no, there's like, I don't know. People really, like, I don't think you should just, like, it's bad to get in a routine where you just fucking get home, throw on your pajama pants, and just sit in front of the TV every night. Change it up. Go out to eat. Go see a band. Go see a movie. Change it up. But like, I don't know, man. When you find out stuff like this, well, and especially too, this is why I will never glorify cities in the same way. Yeah. Do they have better food? Are they a little bit more exciting? Do they have a better nightlife? Sure. But you're also like, there is a strong argument you're in a goddamn hamster cage. When you find out like fucking Starbucks got into these like Chinese cities and completely reconstructed your interest in things. So now you guys love coffee, and it's just because Starbucks decided to do that to you. You never would have naturally developed a taste for coffee if Starbucks didn't completely like trick you into doing that. And it's like, they're not doing that in the fucking countryside. And I'm not saying this as to like, I live in the suburbs. They did the same thing. It's like all this is like fake. Just a bunch of corporate, like a big corporation made all the houses the way they are, and then fucking they made up the shopping centers. You know what I mean? So it's like it's not to say one's better than the other. I think it's all that comes down to preference. Because that's the thing that always makes me laugh. You'll see people like big upping New York City and the city life and all that kind of shit, and you're like, don't get me wrong, there's a bunch of lovely things about New York, but there's a long list of horrible things about your city, right? Like, are you pretending there's not? Are you pretending there's not that's my favorite one with New Yorkers. Is like, are you pretending there's not a really long list of terrible things about this city? I get if that's your speed. I get that. It's like, yeah, I want to rent. I don't mind that the house is tiny. There's cool bars and there's like all the food's interesting and I can walk everywhere and da da da. But it's like, yeah, but also every New Yorker I've ever talked to has told me stories about sitting on the train and there's always that one night where a homeless guy will be on there and you just sit there for fucking 30 minutes being like, will I die? You know what I mean? It's like there's been stories like this forever. New York's never thought of having cops on those in a regular manner. You know what I mean? I mean the prices are retarded. Yeah, the city smells half the time. You know, you don't have a lot of freedom of movement with a car and shit like that. It's like a huge headache to like move around everywhere. You know what I mean? Like everyone's in an intellectual bubble. Like it's like, what are you fucking talking about? You know what I mean? Fucking you get a fucking closet for $3,000 a month. But yeah, it's like that's my thing that I don't love about cities is because cities are usually like substantially more regulated and shit like that. It's it's like you're in a fucking ant farm or a hamster cage or something like that. But yeah, what was my opinion earlier? Oh yeah. I got sidetracked with my hamster cage analogy. But no, there's a lot of like I don't think you should do it every day of your life, but there's like don't knock the whole fucking like I've been playing a lot of Diablo 4 right now while playing. I'll listen to a podcast and I'll play Diablo 4. Because there's just, I mean, I think we were joking about it before. Diablo 4 is just lore maxing. There's so much lore and it's just people talking. You know? It's just people telling you about shit. And it's hard to keep track of like who's who and what is what. And I don't like playing games with a plethora of cutscenes. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to sit there and watch fucking, you know, half the game be cutscenes or anything like that. But yeah, so it's just like I've lost interest in the story. So I usually listen to podcasts and shit like that. And it's like I'll be playing Diablo 4. And I gotta give them credit. It's it's so visually compelling. Like I know there was like mixed feelings about it because it's like the missions are repetitive or something, which they are, but if I have a podcast, dude, I love repetitive missions. Give me all the fucking repetitive missions in the goddamn world. I love a repetitive mish, dude. So like, but I'm playing this game that's like all the creatures in it are so fucking cool looking. Like here, let me pull up a Diablo 3 playthrough. Here we go. Or no, I'm sorry. What did I say? 3, 4. Gameplay. He's probably showing a bunch of gameplay in this. Here we go. Yeah, so just here, I'll make the screen a little bit bigger so you guys could see it. But yeah, man, it's just here, let's up the quality. Yeah, man, it's just like, and I'm not like deep into like whatever this would be, like the fantasy genre. I know the game's RP. I don't know what the game is, like what genre of game is, but like this storyline is like a fantasy genre, but everything's just so fucking cool looking. You know what I mean? And then it's like while I'm playing that, I'm listening to an audiobook talking about like I'm listening to this one talking about the history of like organized. It's a Whitney Webb book, One Nation Under Blackmail. And it's talking about the history of like organized crime's relationship to the government. You know what I mean? And it's like, you know, we're supposed to feel like that's an absolute waste of your time. You're like, what are you talking about? You know what I mean? It's like, that's the problem is people don't have the ability to understand proportion. And it's like, yeah, there's nothing wrong with playing a video game for 4 fucking hours. It's if you do that every night of the week. You got to have balance to your life and shit like that. But yeah, man. You know what I mean? Like, because I realized it too, because it's like sometimes I need a little bit extra to keep myself sort of like mentally stimulated. Because I think I've like overloaded myself. So now, you know, I've built up a sort of mental stimulation tolerance. You know, you just like learn about shit. Like when you start, it's like, you know, when you get to a point, you start realizing there's fucking satanic pedophile cults around the world or some shit like that. You know, your bar for what makes you go, whoa, is way higher. You know what I mean? And I guess I don't know if there's actual proof of the satanic pedophile cults, but there's definitely proof of child sex trafficking rings. But you get what I'm saying. It's like when you understand this much about the world and like how things are, yeah, your bar for what makes you go, holy shit, it gets a little bit higher. You know what I mean? So yeah, I lost my train of thought on that one. I got to be honest. How long have we been going? 2 hours? We'll finish. You know what? Let's finish this one up. Why was I saying all that about my bar of? Oh yeah, because it's like, you know, I'll be, especially some of the fucking books I read with like some of these crazy topics. It's like, I don't know, dude. It's kind of exciting shit. So it's like, I don't know, man. Sometimes I'm not gonna knock. It's just we've been. You know what it is? It's like that propaganda of like consumerism. We've just been trained that it's like you're not living if you're not going to that thing that's gonna cost you $200 when it should have cost you $60 last year or some shit like that. You're like, no, you know what's living? Sitting on the couch. You know what's wasting your time? Sitting on your couch with your wife watching a nice movie. That is a waste of your fucking time. You know what is real living? Going out to this thing where beers are $15 and you're like, go fuck yourself. In my house, it is, the upcharge is crazy. I've been the HEB by me. I could get a fucking sixer of PBR Light, which is low key one of my favorites. Oh, look at you, Josh. Look at you. Typical fucking cunt. Read or listen. Yeah. Yes. Audiobooks. They don't count. Yes. I'm sure you sit at home. And all you do is thumb through books, Josh. I'm thumbing through books. Audiobooks. You didn't do anything. That doesn't count. You're still a fucking piece of shit. How dare you, Josh? How dare you? That is God tier cunt behavior, Josh. Do better. You're better than that. Yeah, PBR Lights rip. Also, I'm fucking with you, Josh. I love you, buddy. PBR Lights rip. They used to, because I don't like PBRs. It's weird. You know what's funny? They do, just don't say read. Well, here's the thing. I also read, Josh. Like, that's the other thing. I also read. So when I said read, I meant read. I love you, buddy. What's up, baptized in battery acid? But yeah, dude, sorry, I also got really cunty. But that was like my thing is I was saying read and you went, Andy clearly means listen to audiobooks. And I go, I listen to a lot of audiobooks. I also read books. They could just be for show. Andy be reading picture books. Yeah. Well, you can't read the pictures, dumbass. I look at them. I don't read them. I'm sorry, Josh. I was mean to you. I feel like you're mad at me now. Oh, wait. I don't care if people are mad at me. Anyway. Love you, Josh. I met your cunty with more cunty. Now I'm mad I out cuntied you. If you come to a show, Josh, I'll tug it once. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I was mean to you, Josh. Sorry I did that to you. If you come to a show, I will tug it once. I promise. Yeah, I read the captions under the pictures. Yeah, you know what? Oh yeah, but that was the thing I was gonna say is like don't knock a night with your video game. We've been here's my thing. If the thing you say my name, well now you're saying say my name, and now I feel like you're trying to cuck me. Whatever, we're even, I guess. Now you say my name, and now I feel special. You are special, Josh. You're a special little boy, and I will tug it once. If I, that's so funny, by the way. I'm like, yo, sounds like you're fucking cucking me saying say my name, but I will tug your penis in person. Have you heard American Gods? No, I think if it's not on that bookshelf, it's out in the living room. I know my wife has it. The host of Big Red in the Morning diddled Josh behind the creek in the cave. No, in the creek in the cave on stage in front of everyone. And it's not diddled. It's one tug. God. It's a tug. All right. Anyway, let's finish this video up. This year-old video about the Chinese economy.
That supremacy is now under threat. At the end of 2023, Luckin Coffee surpassed Starbucks as China's biggest coffee chain by sales and units. Analysts credit Luckin's success to its operating model, which requires minimal staff to run their branches. Luckin prices its coffee at a substantial discount, often up to 50% less than Starbucks.
There's a price war going around with coffee brands. Starbucks has largely avoided that. They are kind of committing to their premium offering. They're focusing on what they do best. That should be the way for many of these American brands who feel threatened, because you don't want your brand identity to get lost as you follow the trend.
Starbucks executives insist they won't cut prices as the company positions itself as a superior brand. But sales for Starbucks have dropped 8% during the first quarter of this year, while Luckin's have surged 41%. That contributed to the company lowering its forecast for the rest of the year. The announcement spooked the market, causing Starbucks' share price to plummet in May. The US coffee giant still has plans to make China its biggest market, but it's now in a race to win wallets. In 2023, Starbucks opened nearly 900 new stores across China, bringing its total in the country to almost 7,000. But in that same year alone, Luckin opened more stores than the entire Starbucks operation in the country, and now has nearly 19,000 locations.
Luckin's expanding very rapidly in tier 2, tier 3 cities where Starbucks might not have that big of a presence. It's really forging its own brand story in a way that resonates with who the new middle classes are.
American brands have had a near free run at the Chinese market for decades, but that's coming to an end.
I think to lose out on China is a huge missed opportunity, not just in terms of dollars, but in terms of cementing your brand presence in one of the largest consumer markets in the world.
What was once an enormous opportunity for American companies could come back to bite as Chinese rivals chip away at their market dominance.
But of course, the real question with this Chinese burger is not, whether it is very Chinese or very American. It's about whether it tastes good.
I mean, that bun was treacherous. What the fuck is that bun? I don't know. I mean, I'll eat a burger. I'll eat a burger on a sesame seed roll. I don't like carrot, but like whatever this fucking roll is crazy. There shouldn't be all that shit on your burger bun.
It's very American. It's about whether it tastes good.
Yeah, that's crazy. Also, that literally looks like the first day he learned how to fucking eat food. Such a weird bite. Want to know what's more fortunate? Good, affordable coffee. Wait, what? God, being racist to Asians is fun, unfortunately. Ooh. What do you got here? Starbucks got none on OG Folgers. I gotta keep it a buck. Me and the wife are a little bit coffee snobs, so nothing wrong with Folgers. We actually crush Folgers. The regular Folgers I'm whatever about. They sell one that's like called Silk or something. That was pretty good. But like me and the wife go bougie as hell for coffee. So like Starbucks is under what we drink every day. But yeah, dude, I gotta be honest. I will say this actually. I tried to go cheap at HEB on some coffee. Really bad. Really bad. That shocked me. Because HEB has some shockingly good store brand shit. But dude, their coffee, and it's like, I say this as a dude who loves HEB, little overpriced for what they provide. But I say this as a dude who loves HEB. It was shocking how bad their store brand coffee was. But yeah, and like I like Starbucks, but the shit we drink here is even better than Starbucks. But I also too though, a lot of people will go like Starbucks tastes the exact same as a gas station. I go, well, no. Here's the thing about Starbucks. It's better than now back where I lived in PA, like Wawa, you could say Wawa coffee was pretty fucking good. And it was sort of on par with Starbucks because a lot of people would be like, Wawa's actually better. And I go, honestly, Wawa is just a different style because like Starbucks would make coffee for coffee drinkers. Wawa would make coffee for people who need coffee to go to work. You know what I mean? Starbucks is more of like I like my like drink. Starbucks was more like drinking coffee is part of my personality. Wawa is I need a 32 ounce before I go work in the cold for 12 hours or some shit like that. You know what I mean? That was Wawa coffee. So it was good, but it wasn't like fancy. Starbucks also not necessarily fancy, but tries to be fancy. All that being said, you go to like a random Sunoco with a fucking, a pot of coffee in the corner. Starbucks is better than that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people like to glorify a lot of people like to glorify shitty stuff if that's what like they grew up with. And it's like whatever, dude, I'm a guy, I'll keep it a buck. I've eaten expensive ass sushi. One time I was hanging out with Mike Eaton. We were eating expensive ass sushi. I've gone out to eat with my wife where it's funny. I bring up a time I ate with Mike Eaton before I brought up a time with my wife. No, it was just I was talking about this sushi place with Mike last night. So it was in my head. But you know what I mean? It's like I've gone out to eat with my wife where that should cost a couple $100s. It's fancy like that. I've done that with a lot of stuff. I've had an amazing time. I've also eaten a cheeseburger from a fucking gas station that had no business serving hot food and also loved my life. Like I'm very open-minded with food. I enjoy all of it. But a lot of this glorification of shitty stuff, like it's better than, it's not that you can't fuck with it, because I fuck with it. The glorification of shitty stuff, like it's better than the actual good stuff, is like, that's a cope because if you admit it, you feel like you're going to invalidate your childhood. And it's like, no, dude, whatever you had to do to fucking survive, that's what you had to do. Don't fucking feel bad about that. If you had to do some shit to make it through if you had to fucking batten down the hatches to make it through the storm, the fuck you doing feeling bad about that? Get the fuck out of here. Hey, bitch, stop feeling bad about yourself, you little fucking bitch. Little fucking dumb slut. What else we got on the coffee takes? They put luck in the name because Asians love luck and good fortune. That's actually a really good term. You're probably right about that. That's like a really good point. Just not in terms of dollars. Want to know what's more fortunate? Good affordable coffee. That fucking goddamn right. Green Room. Starbucks got mean egg and Gouda. What else we got going on? I hope that's me in that. It's a damn Chinese bun, dude. Who knows what's on that thing? Yeah, I don't know what those black spots were. And I'm not even saying that's a bad bun. You know what I mean? Because like that could be a fucking like what's the bagel? Sesame? No, I just said sesame. There's the one bagel with like the black spots on it. I never get it, but like that's a good bagel people like. I'm sure the bun's good. It like when you're eating a burger, you don't need all those extra flavors. Just get a potato roll or a Kaiser roll. Even a Kaiser roll. Here's the thing about I think the Kaiser roll doesn't work as well for a burger because there's something about the burger where the bun needs to be like soft and dense, and the Kaiser roll's flaky and light, and it's a good roll. Like if you're eating like roast beef, Kaiser roll works. I've always said breakfast sandwich is the Kaiser roll is the premier breakfast sandwich roll. But on a burger, I think the Kaiser roll is subpar. Well, I'm sure it's a good bun. It just looked terrible for burgers. I've never bought anything from Starbucks because I'm so cool. Folgers 100% Colombo. Yeah, I'm sure that rips. Starbucks is bullshit. Starbucks black coffee is yucky. Yeah, I love Starbucks. I get why people don't care about it though. I've just always I started drinking it young, I think. Well, no. Actually, no. That logic doesn't make sense because I drank a bunch of the first coffee outside of like shit that my parents would make at my house. The first coffee I would get outside of that would be Dunkin' Donuts because there was one of those on the way to school. And so I loved Dunkin' Donuts for a while. And then something happened where I was like, I fucking hate Dunkin' Donuts. I can't drink it now. I'll drink it if I absolutely have to. But it has to be like the only one physically possible that I could go to at that moment. Dunkin' Donuts is like impressively bad to me. The fuck was I talking about? Wawa bought 2.38 for 20 ounce. Make it yourself. I don't know. I will, if like, there's a lot of stuff I make myself because it's like more economically. Oh yeah, poppy seed. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff I'll make myself right now because it just doesn't economically it doesn't make sense for me right now to not make it myself. But also, dude, if I had the resources, oh my god, I would be paying everyone to do shit. I gotta keep it a buck, dude. Like there's certain things I would do myself, but there'd be, I don't know. If like money wasn't an issue, I mean, I'd just be fucking. Oh, I'd be wasting so much money on DoorDash. It'd be crazy. I'm a very like I need it when I want it kind of guy. You know, I'm bad at like planning ahead. Go for genitals. I like a variety of burger buns, honestly. Fair enough. I go pretty standard. Yeah, right here. Brioche is the only one. I don't go crazy with my burger buns. I either go standard burger bun or potato roll. But yeah, brioche is another one I'll fuck with. Actually, I could fuck with an onion bun right now. Everything bagel, but it's a bun for a burger. I got to be honest. I don't. Can I have you guys want a hot take real quick? Does anyone want a hot take? I don't think the bagel is that great for a sandwich. I think the density of the bagel creates a lot of slippage of the innards slipping out. I'm not a big bagel guy when it comes to sandwiches. I used to be. Not anymore. Not a big bagel guy. But bagel cream cheese? I mean, till I can't fucking walk, dude. Till I can't fucking walk. I used to eat sandwiches, one slice of ham and one slice of shitty American cheese. I look fondly on those times, but fuck those sandwiches. Yeah, that's brutal. One slice of ham, one slice of American. You know what's funny, too? Because I'm at a point, and this is another great time to throw it out there if you guys are so inclined. I have that Patreon. I might record one today or tomorrow. I have that Patreon, Big Red Book Club. Please consider checking it out. Please consider, if you have an Amazon Prime, subscribing on Twitch. If you don't and you're just feeling sassy, also subscribe on Twitch. And if you can, please go follow the YouTube channel, Big Red in the Morning on YouTube. It would mean the world. It would mean the world if you guys checked out my YouTube channel, Big Red in the Morning. Post a lot of good extra content. Just posted a AFI mega mix today. A lot of people seem to, at least 2 people liked it. At least 2 people liked it. That's so funny. Wawa is blue collar and a sizzly and a big ass coffee. Anthony Bourdain mentality. I gotta be honest. I don't get the, all due respect. He brings a lot of people joy. He killed himself, so not trying to speak ill of the suicidal, but like, I do not get the appeal of Anthony Bourdain. He's just like, I don't know. Well, first off, he comes off like a huge pretentious cunt. I should say he came off like a huge pretentious cunt. And like every time I've watched his shit, every time I've ever watched his shit, he's not like so I guess you know what it is? I'm probably overly critical of Anthony Bourdain because one, I sort of like mentally put myself in a similar space as his. Because it's like I kind of do a broadly similar thing, especially when I'm talking about music and shit. I'm talking about, like when I'm talking about music, if it's not something like Sleep Token bastardizing the term metal, if it's not something like that, I'm usually just talking about shit I like. And that's what Anthony Bourdain would do. He'd go to food places and talk about food he likes. Excuse me. And then, that was a really gross burp. I'm sorry about that. So like functionally we're doing the same thing. We're just talking about, but like when he would talk about things, he would just like, he would do it in this like super pretentious cunty way. And it would be this thing where it's like I remember watching one where he'd be like he'll just go to these like famous places that are amazing. And then he'll go to these places that are like amazing. And then he'll just be like, he'll have this energy of like, you gotta try. And you're like, oh, is the fancy restaurant have good food? Was that the thing? It always reminds me of that like Tom Segura joke, where it's like, one of the things we like to do is travel, and you're like, you don't think everyone likes to travel? I forget exactly how Tom Segura did it, but it was like, yeah, everyone likes that. You know what I mean? Like Anthony Bourdain would always talk about this like big insight, and you're just like, he would always like act like he had this big insight on the world, and you're just like, yeah, you're just doing the thing anyone would do if they had disposable income. We would all go to random parts of the fucking world and eat interesting food and drink interesting wines and do like we would all do that, but most people don't have the benefit of HBO sending us or wherever the fuck his show was on. That's the thing where people's personality, it's when people have a certain type of personality where it's like, oh yeah, you do the thing everyone would do if they had disposable income. That's all you're doing. And then like when he would describe it, he would like, anytime I ever watched him, his descriptions were never like overly descriptive, to be perfectly honest. Like he found cool, fun, interesting adjectives, but you could just say you could just say positive adjectives about stuff. This part I might be a little critical because now that I'm thinking about it, I go like, have I watched this show enough to say this? But that is how I feel. This may not be the most well-researched opinion at this part of it. But yeah, that was the other. I just remember watching this shit and the way he would describe stuff. It would have this energy of like, I'm tapped in onto something a lot of people don't understand. And you're like, everyone understands this. Everyone understands that good food is good, and we would all do what you're doing right now if we had disposable income. Literally everyone would do that. And then his descriptions would just be like, It's good. It's really good. It's stupendous. It's magnificent. It's blah blah blah. It's electric. It's, oh my god, when it hits your mouth, you just have this euphoric feeling. You're like, none of this describes specifically what's happening with the food. These are all just broad terms to say it's good. If you're just going, it's good, it's good, it's good, it's good, 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 good. You're like, I don't know what's going on with the food. He's the guy that romanticized drinking. Yeah, that's also like some retard shit. I'm not trying. Like, I don't know. I feel weird because he's like dead, and a lot of people like him. And it's nothing like, I don't know. I don't have like a personal gripe with. I don't have like a personal gripe with the guy, but it is just like I said before, the like romanticizing being a drunk traveling the world is retarded. Just travel the world, and when it's time, when you want to drink, go have a drink. But this whole thing where it's like you become the guy who's just hammered all the time. You're like, that actually sucks fucking ass. It's fucking retarded. It's really hard to explain the appeal unless you're in the lifestyle. You're being sarcastic, right? Yeah, I think that's what the LOL means. Very good. Very good. I heard he's a good hang. Very good. Oh, yeah, and I'm trying not to be mean. Yeah, don't they still, back to sandwich talk real quick, don't they sell Kaiser rolls down here, though? I could have sworn, like, you can get them in the store, but they don't got the, like, fucking handmade shit you could get in Jersey all the time. You had a Bourdain take though about enjoying shit and not everything needs to be fancy. That's the only reason I said that. He is pompous as fuck. Well, that's the other thing too. He has these like opinions that you're like, this isn't a clever take. You know what I mean? It's like, this isn't a clever take. Like, everyone acts a certain type of way because they think they'll be judged if they admit that they like dog shit. But it's like, everyone likes dog shit. Everyone wants to crush a honey bun. You know what I mean? Like, I like, if you don't want to eat shitty honey buns from a gas station, you're a liar. But also, everyone wants to eat fucking, I don't know, like, everyone also probably secretly wants to eat foie gras, unless you're like a real deal vegan or something, or like whatever the over the top. Maybe foie gras is not a good example. I would eat foie gras, but like, everyone wants to eat a fucking expensive T-bone steak, but also you like I don't know. People act like they're interesting because it's like, oh, you know, when it was 2 a.m. and I was hammered, we ordered McDonald's. You're like, yes, everyone fucking loves McDonald's. It's not good for you, and it makes you feel like shit half the time. Every single fucking human being fucking loves McDonald's. Get fucked. Like, that's the part of his shit that would always drive me insane. You're like, you're not saying anything we don't already know. It's like, all right, here's what you're going to do. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to fun. It's like when people make the joke, like, it's why the joke when you go like, oh, and I've made this joke 1,000 times because I'm a hack. But like, it's like when you made the joke where you're like, oh yeah, if I go to a fucking Chinese spot and there's not, there's not a third grader in the corner doing his homework, I know the food's not going to be good. Or if I go to a Chinese spot and I know, and they're not, the husband and wife aren't arguing in the back, I know the food's not going to be good. It's like, yeah, because we all know the best Chinese food is in a kind of shitty place. We all know that. Stop. Like, Bourdain would say shit like he figured it out. You didn't fucking figure it out. But I mean, I don't know. I just feel weird because he's fucking dead. People liked him. Like if Steve Irwin minus the dangerous animals interaction. Yeah, maybe. He grabbed the head of my PB in Mexico City. Sick. Like he was trying to catch a fucking baby eel or something. It was very disturbing. He bribed me not to call any authorities. At least you got your PB touched. What are you saying? This wine is so good. One day life won't be good enough. Oh my god. Bruh, your whole squad romanticizes drinking. No, we don't. We just really like to do it. We're not like, none of us think we're cool because we drink too much. Like, we're all worried about our health. We all think we're fucking alcoholics. But we don't like romanticize. It's not about like romanticizing drinking. We just all really like to drink. You know what I mean? Like, we're not being like, oh, we got like, oh, I have like when you hear Nate tell a story about like the fact that he fucking drank 5 whiskeys and a bunch of beers and smoked a bunch of weed, it's not because he's like, I have an image to keep up of being a fucking alcoholic. It's because Nate drinks too fucking much. It's because you know what I mean? It's like, I'm not talking about crushing beers and ripping cigs because I'm like, then they're going to think I'm fucking cool and that's a part of my image and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no. Every time I'm out hanging out with people, my preferred night would involve 6 to 10 beers and a bunch of cigs. That's just like, you know what I mean? Like, when I say romanticize, I'm talking about like part of your personality is, you know, locked into the drinking. So it's like, if I'm not drinking, I'm not me. And it's like, I can be me, but also I can, you know, in the right setting, if I added some beer on top of me is going to have more fun. You know what I mean? That's the difference. I see where you're coming from though, but that's the difference. Because at no point when we're talking about any of this shit, we're always going like, ha ha, but it's like, you know, like when Lemaire was talking about having the fucking bender, we were all legitimately like, hey, you should watch yourself and shit like that. But yeah, whatever. I get what you're saying. I watched the show quite a bit. He definitely could have touched more on things he was doing. He was very vague. That's what drives me nuts about food shows. Is you're like, that's part of the reason why I do. We tried it with Mike Eaton, but no one was really watching it, and it was getting expensive, so we stopped doing it. But that's my goal is to eventually do a food show like that, where the point is to give a much more detailed description of what's going on. It drives me up a goddamn wall. You see all these food shows out there, and it's just people going, the flavor's explosive. Okay, I have no fucking idea what you're talking about. I have no fucking idea what you're saying. But yeah, that's the shit I always would get. Multi-told, what's up, brother? One of the best breakfast sandwiches, dog shit pork roll. Yeah, I actually, towards the end of my tenure in Jersey, I was more partial in the morning to a sausage, egg, and cheese rather than a bacon, egg, and cheese. Because every single fucking place, they don't give you I get it. Bacon's $1,000 fucking dollars for some reason at a lot of places. But yeah, I would always prefer, like when I was before work, when I was like, I have to eat 19 sandwiches before I go do manual labor, I would always get sausage, egg, and cheese because I just thought it was more, they always would give you more and it would be more substantial. So it felt like there was actually like my belly would be full. One of the best breakfasts. I want to crush 35 PBR lights and eat a gas station hot dog. Recently, we watched No Reservations on Hulu. Bourdain was corny as hell. His favorite band was the Ramones. Yeah, that dude. The Ramones shouldn't be your favorite band. And I say that as a huge Ramones fan. I'm a huge Ramones fan. Ramones should never be anyone's favorite band. Because if you hear the Ramones and you go, this is the best music gets, you don't think outside the box. You don't realize like there's a million bands that have taken that sound, expanded upon it. You definitely go to the Ramones, you go, thank you for your service, the Ramones. You know, thank you for what you did. That's so funny. That's so funny, says the guy who still hasn't tried Bill Miller's. That's why I added the second part. Yeah, I'm sorry if any of that felt like I was like going in on you. You did hit me with a full capital bruh. So I had to feel like I defended myself. It's all about beers with the bros. No, I think and I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, brother. I wasn't trying to come at you or anything. I'm trying to come on you. No, it's not the whole like it's all about like, yo, let's hang out. And then it's like, You know what would make this hang better? I think the drinking is more of a hang enhancement. The drinking is a good time enhancement. But the focus is way more about the good time. Is there a Bill Miller near Austin? I'll go to a Bill. Send me fucking Venmo me $20 and I'll go to a Bill Miller. Actually, no, you got to pay for my gas. So Venmo me $30. I'm just kidding. Unless you want to Venmo me $30. Oh, okay. Oh. Looks like there's one 4 miles away from me. No, 6 miles away from me. Well, if you want me to go to Bill Miller's, Venmo me $30. Is this embarrassing? Am I embarrassing myself? I'm being like kind of funny because I'm not begging for it. Is this embarrassing? Am I a huge embarrassment to myself? Yeah, I'm not like begging for the money, just being funny. No, but I'm legitimately. If you want me to go to Bill Miller's and record it for the stream, Venmo me $30. I do think you are cool for drinking PBR lights. Thank you, Cartman's cat. Yeah, but that's the thing is like I just drink them because it's like at the price, the quality mixed with the price point. PBR lights are your best. They're your best deal you got, dude. But thank you for saying I'm cool. I appreciate that. Whoa, attack someone, get this guy a beer and some candles and slow good music. You're not you when you're thirsty. A better me is obtained through the spirits. I don't think I can name a single Ramones song. I mean, I can name a shit ton of Ramones songs. I love the Ramones. They should not, because it's like being like, dude, you know what movie fucking changed my life? Fight Club. And that's not even Fight Club rules. Fight Club is not where you end though. I love Fight Club, but like when you're like, it should just Fight Club should never come up because it should just be understood that it's good, but everyone's seen it and there's more interesting things to talk about. That's the same thing with the Ramones. Like the Ramones, it's like if someone just goes in on how good the Beatles are, you're like, yeah, we fucking know. Who gives a shit? Why are we talking about the Beatles? This is fucking boring. It's the same thing with like if you're talking about the Ramones like that, you're like, dude, listen to more stuff. Yeah, I love the Ramones. They're my favorite. Don't you mean podcast co-host? Was that from earlier? Look at Dish rules. I made the sea bass risotto. It was a gas. I keep the dude. I love watching Look at Dish. Shout out Tommy and Chris. That's like it's funny. I'm like low key. It's weird. I've never been fans and friends with people. And you know what's funny? We're not like super close or anything, me, Tommy, and Chris, but like obviously through doing comedy and being like, you know, we're all vaguely in the Philly crew and shit like that. You know, you become friends with them and we talk and all this and that. And then they started pumping out like Look at Dish, and I started watching it, and it's funny where it's like I'm watching this as like a fan of the show, but also I have like there's our friendship in a real life capacity. I love Look at Dish. Tommy and Chris are two of my favorite people. They're in podcast terms, they're two of the most brilliant psychos I've ever seen in life. They're so fucking entertaining. I will give props to Chris O'Connor is one of my favorite dudes to watch do sets down here. I get a $7 bacon, egg, and cheese from the head of maintenance at my work. He gets them at his workstation, 3 fried eggs and a pile of bacon, and he butchers the pigs himself. Oh, he makes them at his workstation. Okay. I was going to say $7 is kind of steep, but if he goes 3 eggs and goes heavy on the bacon, that's worth all 7 of those dollars. Take Lamorta to Bill Miller's. There's like 50. Bill Miller's drive-through barbecue, 5 out of 10. That comes with yes. If you pay for my Bill Miller's, I'll do a mukbang. if you pay for my Bill Millers and my gas and my 6 miles worth of gas, I will do a mukbang video and I will rub my nipples and be a slut. My grandpa and uncles will go on diatribes about the Beatles, but they get a pass because they're boomers. Yeah. But still, it's one thing if you grew up with the Beatles. That's the thing. It goes back to the problem with Bourdain. Give me something. Oh my God. It's crazy how quickly I go into dumb Italian. It's just in my blood. Give me something I don't already fucking know. And you should know enough to know we all know the Beatles are the greatest. We've all had those conversations. We all know about the fucking Ramones. So if your thing's not like, oh, when I was younger, I went to a Beatles show and I got lost and Paul McCartney fucked my mouth. I want to hear that. Give me that Beatles story. But if it's just like, well, the White Album really changed things. Shut the fuck up, old man. And then you fucking stab your fucking grandpa in the heart. Don't do that. No violence. In warm weather, nothing beats a good Mexican beer. Pacifico. Yeah, dude. I gotta be honest. They figured out. Yeah, it's not. Yeah. You're just reminding me. Sorry to keep going back to the original thing, because I'm not mad at you, Lou Sanus. That's a cool name and nothing funny about it. No, fucking. What the fuck was I saying? What was I fucking saying? Yeah, no, it's like, oh, this day, you're like, oh, fucking, I'm stressed out. The world sucks. Life seems heavy and unbearable. Is that a Mexican beer on a hot day? You know what I mean? It's like, it's not about romanticize. It's just about like, I'm being really defensive. I clearly have addicted alcoholic tendencies. It's just, you just get a lot of shit for, if you just like to drink, people get so judgmental. You know what I mean? And you're like, I'm fine. I've been doing fine. You know what I mean? It's just the way people look at it. You don't get to like to drink. It's really annoying. Pet Sematary theme does rip. Yeah, they were good at or no. Pet Sematary is not a cover. They just wrote it for the movie, right? No one's favorite song should be Blitzkrieg Bop, but also no one should not like that song. Exactly. That's the best way to put it. If you don't like the Ramones, you're a fucking psycho and you're lying. If the Ramones are your favorite band, go listen to more music. That's the best way to put it. Till Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, the only Ramones song I knew was Pet Sematary. Tony Hawk was when I found out about the Ramones. You can thank the Germans for good Mexican beer. I would love to see you on the Dad Meat pod, dude. Tim also fucks with Twitch shit too. Yeah, I'd love to go on Dad Meat. I don't like pestering people, so I just wait till they ask me, but you guys can pester them all you fucking want. Yeah, I don't know. I feel weird. Like, it'd be one thing, like if say I had something to promote, like something specific to promote. You know, like I wrote a book or something, or like I read a book and I wanted to tell everyone that I finished a book. Wait, is that actually a brilliant idea? I go on a finished a book tour. Yeah, that's fucking brilliant. Okay, don't tell anyone I just said that. I might have to figure that out. Dude, that would be so funny. I'm going on a finishing a book tour. Holy shit, that's funny. Okay, you guys, don't fucking tell anyone about this. Be cool. Can you guys be cool? Okay. Brother, drink like a fucking fish or preaching to the choir. Yeah, I'm just a defensive alcoholic. That's all I'm just being defensive. It's like, don't point out my obvious problem. Oh. I would love to see. Oh, yeah, I read that already. You can also have someone ghostwrite a book. Yeah. Well, that would just make sense to people. I don't know where the comedy, that would just make sense to people. Did a 6-pack of Yingling just call me from the skate park? Yeah, dude. 6-pack of Yingling and a skateboard. That's the fucking move. Yes, the tour is a great idea. Hell yeah. Well, I'm gonna have to consider this. We are hitting about the 3-hour mark. I'm thinking this is a good time to wrap it up. We had some good chunks there, man. I had the big rant up top for about an hour and a half. God, I can fucking yell. Yeah, we were heavy comments. Then I had the big rant. Then we watched some videos and stuff. I think it was a good stream. This is a good solid 3 hours. Anyway, thank you for all the support. One last time, I will ask you guys. This is for the people on the Panties channel. Please consider checking out the Twitch, twitch.tv/Big Red in the Morning. Please consider checking out the YouTube channel. I'm trying to get that up to 500 as quick as I can. Big Red in the Morning on YouTube. And if you have not yet subscribed to the Panties Patreon, it starts at $1. And then if you did that, then consider the Big Red Book Club, where I read conspiracy books, comic books, and manga. And when I'm doing the manga and comic books, I do all the voices. And also, I'm everywhere else on social media and all that. Drag the Lake, No More Heroes. You guys already watch Panties. Actually, this week, Drag the Lake, we talked about... Who do we talk about this week? Oh, yeah, Bill Murray. That's right. We talked about Bill Murray. And then on No More Heroes, we talked about Rush Hour. So I think that's those are good ones. Can't wait to see you in person. I can't wait to see you, Josh. Josh, are you the one I promised to tug? Just remind me, whoever I promised to tug to. For sure, going torso to all comes to you. Yeah, I'll figure that out at some point. I gotta figure that one out. All right. I love you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Today was very fun. Did anyone follow, by the way? Oh yeah, Mr. Alex Hamburger. Thank you for the follow. Very cool shit. All right, I'm out of here. Check out all the other shit. I got that AFI mix. Just so much stuff. Just search my name on the internet. God, I have so much stuff. I love you guys. Bye.